anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018. Summer Seasons' Masters League is going on and it's full furore. And for those who are wondering who I am, my name is Vagish Godslayer Bhan. I'm going to be your host for this entire journey, and joining me for the first game today on the day 4 of the ESL India Premiership is none other than the vivacious Zara Angela Gonzalez.
Yay, how are you doing? So excited about today. We've got some very great games lined up for everybody who's watching today.
Indeed. Some really rad games lined up, which we are going to be damn kicked about. So we will be taking you guys one by one through those games as and when they happen. First of all, let's start off with the first game which we have in our kitty here.
Yes.
We have a game of Clash Royale happening between Sutikshan, Beast Joshi and Kamil, Shadab Kamil Khan.
Yes.
Now, last I remember, when we saw Kamil, he literally ended up decimating his opposition.
Yeah,
the guy has very calculated moves. He times his moves well. He knows what cards to play when. It's a good sense of understanding coming from his side when it comes to Clash Royale. I really like that guy for that point of matter. In fact, I'm yet to see Sutikshan's scene because I'm kind of forgetting how he was in the previous year.
Yeah.
Although I'm informed Sutikshan is from J&K. My man. Kashmir, bro.
Actually, in 2017, he made his way to the Masters League from the Starter Cup. And he had a fantastic performance due to which he made it to the Masters League.
Indeed.
And in 2018, of course, he's already played his first game in the ESL India Premiership. And he went against Tahir. Now, if you know Tahir, he's also played the ESL India Premiership for quite a while. In 2017, we even saw him at IGS. He was there. And he's one of the most known, renowned players in the Clash Royale scene. So yesterday, when they did have the matchup between Sutikshan and Tahir, Sutikshan defeated him with a 3-0 scoreboard. So I'm looking to see how he's going to fare against Kamil today.
It's very unlikely that we find Tahir Devil's twin Sharif losing 3-0.
Yeah.
It's very weird because each time I've seen him play or come on board to play a game of Clash Royale, he always ends up at least securing 2 rounds. At least 2 rounds secured, because the guys, I remember last year in 2017 ESL India Premiership, it was how would I say, it was a triangle of competition. It was Arpan Christian, then it was Tahir, and then there was Mrinboy.
Yeah.
So the buck used to, it was literally like a Russian roulette, you know, like everybody's like passing the buck and the revolver to the other person.
I
till
think Clash
Arpan
has
Christian
always been like that. It's always been a revolving bat. We didn't even have, we had a very young player also coming into the winter season, and he took everybody by storm.
Indeed, and Arpan is one good example of what perseverance can do. He's a very good example for budding Clash Royale players who want to make it big in the scene. So right now, let's quickly take a look at the first player in question here, Sutikshan Beast Joshi from J&K. Alright, that's Sutikshan Beast Joshi from Jammu and Kashmir, my home turf.
Yes.
Now I don't know essentially which part of Jammu and Kashmir, because it's slightly, I'm going to digress here. People get confused about the entire geography of that state. Jammu is the winter capital of the state. Srinagar is, when I say Srinagar, I mean Kashmir, is the summer capital.
Yeah.
And people presume that Leh and Ladakh are a different region. No, they are not. They belong to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So essentially it's J&K and the territories of Leh and Ladakh, not just J&K. little bit of information I try to give so that you guys are also like, up to date with our, how would I say, country's geography. Now moving on, we have the competition for Beast here. None other than Shadab Kamil Khan from Bombay. Alright, then that's Shadab Kamil Khan from Bombay. Loves to play the bandit.
Yeah. Whereas
his opposition ends up using the spear goblin quite often.
A bit.
Let's take a closer look at these players and see exactly how they are placed against each other. So as we can see, predominantly not really that much of a difference when it comes to both of them. The number of crowns, the trophies they've got is
very similar, actually.
Pretty similar. It's like how they say in Hindi, 19-20 ka aakda hai types.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I already mentioned, bandit and a spear goblin lover here. We have in the house. Apart from that, in today's game, we are also going to see 2 cards banned. So Shadab Kamil Khan has banned the Giant, whereas Satishan has gone ahead and banned Graveyard. Now, unlike a Giant, I really find a Graveyard to be much more of a harassment to deal with, because at least if you know that a Giant is there, you deploy like a couple of troops, the Giant may go down eventually.
Actually, Sutikshan's one of best cards. I mean, he loves to play the Giant in most of his decks, so I would assume that Shahbaz has actually done a little bit of understanding on what Sutikshan likes to play.
Indeed.
And with a name like Beast, I think the Giant fits perfectly well with.
I'm pretty sure the guy's an X-Men and Marvel fan. Hank, if you're definitely using your in-game nick from Hank, good choice, good choice. Well, we are going to be heading off into the game right about now. So I hope our casters and the players are ready, because this game is going to be lit. Let's head off into Clash Royale.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another day of Clash Royale casting. This is day 4, by the way, and I'm joined with the esteemed Manoj Supergola.
Hey, why is your voice so different?
I like to start with basically something cool. Interesting matchup today between Kamil and Beast. Sutikshan.
Beast.
I always have trouble saying his name.
So Kamil is a new. You've seen Kamil play on day 1, right?
Yes.
Day 2.
It was Kamil versus
Arpan?
Not Arpan, the other guy, Atif or something. Saif, yes.
How did he fare? Like, what happened?
I believe Kamil lost.
Like 3-0 or 3-1?
But I would appreciate if you don't test my memory, which is horrible.
Okay, so let's get...
This is something that we don't see very often.
We have
Hunter,
nice.
Yes. Now the Expo deck, we've got to see a few of these matchups earlier, but interesting today, another interesting fact is the fact that the 3 Musketeers are finally not banned. It took them 4 days to figure that out. And finally, maybe, hopefully today we'll get to see 3 Musketeers. But looking at the deck so far, look at Kamil's deck right now. What's his win condition right now? How is he planning to close this game out? Because Beast, we already know, is a minor chip combo that he wants to push out.
So Kamil has a fireball and a crossbow. So I'm guessing he is going to distract whatever Beast is going to throw at him with his P.E.K.K.A, with his log, with his ice golem. And then just wants to depend on his crossbow for most of the damage onto the card. But unfortunately for him, Beast also has this Goblin Hut. He also has a poison. He also has a miner. All, depending on how they're placed, will be excellent counters against a crossbow.
Yeah, when I think Kamil has taken a book out of Arpan's book there. He has one P.E.K.K.A there, which he's going to most probably pull out when the double elixir time starts. Right now, he's going to be most probably holding on to. Maybe he drops it just about now.
Yeah, having said that, I do realize one more thing. Kamil has too many counters against Beast's cards, right? He has the log, he has the ice golem. And he has a fireball and he has a mega minion. Beast's little goblins are not going to prove to be too much to create too much problems for Kamil, because he also has a hunter, and you've seen the hunter destroy groups of units up in close range.
Yes, it does, but can he survive the constant chip that he's getting in his face right now? Poison, miner. just bringing his towers down.
Well, he should be able to. He hasn't had an aggressive crossbow yet. This is the first one that he's used. So now he has a P.E.K.K.A. that's protecting the crossbow. He's going to have the hunter also to protect the crossbow as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of HP that Beast has to go through before he actually starts damaging the crossbow.
By the way, Hunter is so good at clearing out a single unit. The DPS that he does on a single unit
up close is insane.
It's massive, actually. What are you thinking right now? What is Beast's strategy right now? Because every time with the crossbow, he gets plenty of opportunity to distract his opponent, which now is...
Well, really good move by Beast right there. He was about to lose his Goblin Hut to Kamil's Fireball, but he was able to place his Miner right behind the crossbow to again distract him and stop it from hitting the tower. So for now, both the players are pretty evenly matched on the right side. Kamil has a little bit of HP lost on his left tower, but that's not the real issue here because nobody's bothering about the left tower. All the battles are being fought on the right, and sorry about that, folks. That was a random sound that might not happen again. That will not happen again. Anyway, we see a lot of goblins being thrown down by Beast, trying to distract Kamil's crossbow. So far, he's been pretty successful at it. And I guess it's time for Kamil to be overcome by the number of units that Beast is just throwing at him. Yeah. 573 HP left. That miner is going to die to the Ice Spirit. Value log right there clears out almost all the goblins that Beast has put out. But thanks to Beast's poison and Beast's own miner and log, I think he's going to get this one back from the miner.
It seemed like he put down double poison there. I don't know if you noticed. He rotated so quickly to his second poison that he put them on top of each other.
No, I mean, unless you have a 1-mana skeleton, 1-mana Ice Spirit, and the 2-mana archers, I don't think you can rotate fast enough back to the poison.
It was pretty crazy.
There were just two poisons on the...
It seemed like the animation of the poison kind of came in back twice. But that was game 1 of the best of 5, which this is something that I've been very excited about, by the way. The best of 5s, it's just great to see these guys, Yeah,
you see a variety of decks, you see some counters, you see some thought going into building their decks.
And the bans, of course.
Yeah. The bans have I've heard Angie talking about it on the desk, and I agree with her. If you ban a player's favorite card, you don't know what he's going to do. Right? Let's say Hasib was still in here, and Hasib's favorite card is still the Golem.
Yes.
You ban the Golem, you don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But if you do not ban the Golem and you ban a really good support card for the Golem, you can actually counter him.
Yes. So, for example, that time he was pushing a lot of Dark Witch.
Exactly.
So if you ban that, maybe changes the whole face of the game. However, interesting bans here. We see the Giant and the Graveyard being banned here.
Well, Beast does play a lot of beatdown decks. He plays the Golem. Sometimes he plays the P.E.K.K.A. You've seen him playing the P.E.K.K.A. You've seen him play the Giant as well.
Yeah.
He's really good with beatdown decks, as he is demonstrated in the last land finale.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what Kamil's homework has taught him.
Interesting thing we got to see here. The poison was not only damaging the Goblin Hut, it was actually killing the goblins also.
As soon as they come out.
Yeah, as soon as they come out, they were not able to... Basically, that Goblin Hut did not give any value.
It's called the Flying Machine, and it's right now hitting the tower from a long range away. So it's...
Isn't it better to call it the Flying Barrel?
How about we just introduce DOTA here and call it the Gyrocopter?
Yeah, the Gyrocopter. Zappies.
So I'm really glad that we've changed the format of the Premiership, man. Thanks to the banned cards, people are starting to use other new cards. I think this season is the first time we've seen someone use a Hunter.
That is correct. I don't think that looking back at the whole last year, or when Hunter finally came out, we got to see much of him at all.
But has anybody used the Magic Archer yet? I don't think so.
No one has used the Magic Archer. Again, I think sooner or later someone will come out and be like, hey, you know what, this guy is a Magic Archer guy. Looking at the win conditions here, you see a lot of chip damage coming in for Kamil. Overall, his deck value is pretty low also. He can switch over to Bridge Spam with a couple of his units, but a lot of cheap units he has and a Goblin Barrel for him to do the final damage.
If those Zappies survive, it's going to be really difficult for Kamil to come back from this.
He has a log.
Okay.
Holding on to it for now.
He should save the log, yeah. He should save the log to push units out of function.
Yeah, but the question right now is how is he? His job is to defend, and do damage with a goblin barrel or a princess.
And
What's the
poison.
plan?
So he can either use the poison defensively or offensively, but
I want to see how good he is at defending. Okay, he's absolutely beast at defending.
well, that
Kamil is beast at defending.
that goblin gang was a little horribly placed, and
Yeah.
that's why he's going to lose this round. So he saw the poison coming out from beast, but he still chose to place his goblin gang right there, and that's what caused them to be instantly killed, and that allowed beast's units to reach the tower and instantly destroyed. Flying machine did a lot of damage, yes, and look at the amount of damage that Kamil took on his count out.
Yeah, well, by absolutely losing his full goblin gang there, which was supposed to be his big stopping force there,
Yeah,
he took
like-
that completely in the face.
There were 5 units that were supposed to take 1 hit each from the big units that Beast is putting out, and tank them for those few precious seconds needed. But that didn't happen. So Beast has stolen the second game out from Shadab again. Kamil. Do you think Kamil is going to come back from this?
What I've seen so far, I think Kamil should be able to close. He should be getting one game.
What does your Arena 8 gameplay skill level tell you?
Hey, I have to now double check which arena I'm in. I'm in the electric arena, by the way.
That's 9, I guess.
Yes, I'm not a low level guy as I think I may be. I'm actually pretty pro, by the way. What I do is when I get to 36, midway through 3600 or 3700s, I switch my deck. Because for me, I feel like that's the...
You want to game the system?
No, I don't want to game the system. I feel like past 3700, maybe I'll have a difficult time sticking to just the 3 Musketeer build, which is what gets me again over and over again. So I lose my crown.
What I've realized is I've tried like multiple different deck combos to bridge the gap between 3600 and 4K.
Yeah.
What I've realized is I just need higher level cards.
Okay.
Like I don't know why, but I think that's the only thing that's going to help us.
I don't know, man. I do believe a lot of people have been talking about this, the fact that you get to 4, 5Ks, even high 5Ks. You just need the max level cards. I don't have those max level cards, and I'm not gonna deny that I've not put money into the game.
Oh, you've put in money.
Yes,
You've put a lot of money.
But I have put money like stupidly. Imagine where I would upgrade anything I see that needs to be upgraded. Like I've never focused my attention towards one card. So it's like money is evenly distributed. But
luckily for us, in this tournament formats, all the player cards are level equalized, so it's fair.
It's only fair.
We see a mirror coming out from Beast. That's nice. And Laser Dragon, or Inferno Dragon as it rightly should be called.
Yeah, Laser Dragon.
It's a dragon that shoots lasers. It's a laser dragon.
It's a baby dragon with an armor who's shooting lasers. Okay, please.
It's a laser dragon.
Anyways, is he going to what kind of build is he going on? Why is he saying wow already? Did I miss something?
No, you haven't missed anything.
Is he just BMing?
He just saw the Inferno Dragon come out, and that's what made him go wow. Because Kamil has never. I don't think Kamil has ever played a deck that includes an Inferno Dragon, and that's what just caught Beast off guard. And he also now knows that since he has a Inferno Dragon, the deck that Beast chose, right? He has a mirror, he has a poison, he has a goblin hut.
Yeah.
So that mirror can be used for a log, it can be used for a poison, it can be used for a goblin hut, it can be used for the goblins themselves, and that gives him a lot of control over how he wants to counter whatever Kamil can throw at him.
But I would say that Beast is running a very low elixir cost deck here with a mirror and a goblin hut. So he's going to slowly chip away at the tower, but I think Kamil actually rightfully has a Dark Knight right now, Dark Prince. Which if he puts out a big enough push, which will plow through all of them, the Dark Prince is going to do so much AoE damage.
I don't know, man. Like all of Kamil's units except the little minions right there are weak to Beast's bats. And even if Beast loses one of his bats, he can just use the mirror card if he plans it just a little ahead. So I think Beast has a clear advantage, but we won't know until one of them dies.
Yeah. Again, we are getting to see a lot of different variations of the miner chip. You see how he's changed the cards. He's got the mirror, he got the goblin hut. But the main, the end game here is the miner chip.
minor chip with poison.
Yes, minor chip with poison. And couple of chips you can see here and there. They end up throwing like 3 javelins, whatever you call them, at the opponent. So here comes the big push that I was talking about. This is what's gonna be difficult, and I want to see how well he holds this, even with bats, because now the bats are completely eaten away, and this is bad news for Beast. By the way, this is game over for Beast.
That's a really good push. Unfortunately for Beast, he couldn't really get his poison out in time to, stop the push in its tracks. But yeah, that's a really good timing by Kamil. He knew Beast didn't have the poison, and he waited for Beast to use a card other than poison so that he can't mirror poison again.
Yeah,
and that's what's got him his round. So the score is 2-1 right now. Congratulations, Kamil.
Interestingly, this is exactly what I was talking about before the games, like during the game. I was like, listen, there's gonna be one big push coming in, which might be difficult for Beast to stop, and it finally came.
Yeah, and the props to Kamil again. He didn't reveal his Dark Knight. Sorry, Dark Prince.
The Dark Knight.
You got me saying the wrong words again. Screw you. Okay. So again, he didn't reveal his Dark Prince until the most opportune moment.
Yeah.
Which literally won him the round. So let's see if we can continue those high 500 IQ plays again in game 4.
Yeah, but while we get into the game 4, let's figure out. Okay, we are in the game 4. Good. Big changes.
Looks like Beast has reverted to his Zappy P.E.K.K.A deck, and look, we see a Golem deck coming out of Kamil right there with an Elixir Collector, no less.
Well, he needs the money, and
okay. so I guess he was expecting Beast, to run a hog cycle deck or something, maybe with a faster thing. So that's why Kamil.
Do you think this is a double knight build? Most likely not.
Most likely not. If he
includes another, expensive.
Oh, it's a double knight build. Wow.
Yes, it is.
It's a double prince build.
The thing is, as much as I dislike not casting live games, this is like breaking the whole. Imagine how exciting it would have been in the earlier game if he had not known that he had the Dark Prince. The Knight Prince. He does get the swipe put down, which is pretty sad actually.
Those Zappies are going to do a bit of damage. Look at that.
They're so annoying. You can't even hit them. Look, it's just like whoop whoop.
You know the most OP part about Zappies?
Yeah.
If 3 of them are hitting your tower in a sequence, your tower will never be able to fire. And that's true for any unit.
Interesting.
Like they keep interrupting the attack animation so often, the attack animation just doesn't go off.
Elixir Collector down. Poison is available. Minor is not available. Poison comes down. Again, completely denying him the ability to use the Elixir Collector.
Well, the poison costs 4 elixir, right?
Yes.
The Elixir Collector costs 6. The Elixir Collector is able to get 3 elixir before it goes down because of the poison, so it's always a 1 elixir positive trade. But you're also losing HP on your tower thanks to poison. So it's sort of that delicate knife-edge balance that you have to maintain.
Like you're gonna hurt the tower a lot.
I think he's going to get.
Is he gonna push him in?
Yeah, he's gonna push him out.
Yeah, there you go.
But 352 HP. That's just a poison and a log away from death.
Oh, finally the big push comes out. The Zappies are out. Who are they targeting? Is he pulling them all together in? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he is pulling them all in together because the Dark Prince has splash damage, right?
Yes.
So he can just.
And even the Golemites, when they blow up, even the Golem.
They have the suicide bomb damage.
Yes.
Instant. So he has to be. Kamil right now has to be really, really careful. But no matter how careful he is, Beast just has to poison and log it, and Kamil's tower will go down. But
look at the damage the Golem is actually taking. I think it was pretty much the P.E.K.K.A. Absolutely. P.E.K.K.A. is unable to chase those Golemites, by the way, which is quite interesting to see. And here comes a big push. I think this is game over.
This is game.
And this is going to be 3-1 in favor of Beast. Beast taking this best of 5. Quite an interesting set of matches that we got to see here. And all throughout, remember what we saw is the poison minor chip, which is I think absolutely Beast right now. And this
fun intended.
Yeah, fun. and this is something that everyone can use. A Clash Royale player.
It's something that we've observed in the last year as well, right? All 3 seasons, minor poison combo was really, really popular. I think it was played about. I am pulling the numbers out of thin air right now, but I'm pretty confident it's at least 30% of the games we've seen the minor poison combo.
Yes, and because it works really well. So why?
I see nerf incoming.
Yeah, I think they did nerf a little bit, but and they buffed the hunter. That's why you got to see a hunter a little bit there. So
well, I really hope that we start seeing some of the newer cards more often, man. They're just so much fun to use, and like
I've been having fun with Magic Archer.
I've seen you use your experimental decks. Yeah.
Yes.
Having said that, I'm gonna run down back to the production room. Why don't you say?
Yeah, that is it from now. This is Gautam Workaholic Trick alongside with Manoj Super Gola, and that is it from now. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Well, first of all, huge shout out to Gautam Workaholic Work and Manoj Super XL Gola for that amazeball casting there. In fact, this guy, Gautam Workaholic, he always calls me as the magnetic personality. I think he is the real magnetic personality. And if he decided to cosplay, he would be the Royal Giant.
I think
Workaholic is like a Royal Giant.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty damn cool and his casts are really interesting too. He's actually always been very excited to cast Clash Royale, and I think this game was one of the games where you feel that the excitement was completely legendary.
Both Super XL and Workaholic. In fact, I believe his transformation into a Royal Giant will be complete if he holds Manoj Gola horizontally and just walks around slowly.
But
because Manoj Gola is like a cannon.
I mean, this game was fantastic for me to watch. I mean, I've not seen Beast play this kind of lineup before. He did go in for a complete low elixir build. He went in for the Goblin Gang, which is pretty much exciting to see by themselves. And then he picked up the Spear Goblins. So to complete his whole thing, he picked up a mirror card with poison. Now, that is a kind of lineup I see in a lot of normal games of Clash Royale. And this was very interesting for me to see because Beast took game 1 and 2 just based of that he went with low elixir, he did with higher damage. But by the third game, Kamil kind of realized that it's very easy for him to kind of, move in this kind of format where he saw that Beast was constantly using the concept of low elixir cards like the Goblins. So he went and picked up this super interesting card called the Dark Prince, which kind of worked in his favor completely. Now, once he picked up the Dark Prince, the Goblin Gang was kind of useless, and Kamil was able to take that game off himself very easily. But in the fourth game, I don't know what happened. Kamil did not really like the game 3 draft. Maybe he had gone for the battle drum, which kind of helped him a lot. But in game 4, he decided to change his situation completely and went into the Golem pickup, which I think Beast worked very well against. He already had the Ice Ghost ready. He had the Goblin Hut again. He followed the same concept of Goblins, and the Golem doesn't really fare well against the Goblin Gang. So I feel the only mistake Kamil went was he didn't really need to change his draft. He was faring pretty well in game 3 with just going on the Dark Prince, because as we know, the Dark Prince does multiple unit damage, or like we call in DOTA 2 the Battle Fury damage, where he attacks multiple units together, and that kind of was the perfect counter against Beast's deck. But the minute he changed that into taking a Dark Prince and the normal Prince, it kind of didn't really work in his favor, and I think that's why Kamil kind of lost this game. Otherwise, I was hoping to see a game 5 between these two players.
Interesting analysis there, Angela. Yeah. Interesting analysis. Maybe this might end up forcing me to download Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean,
for the 5th time.
It's a very interesting
I downloaded this game 4 times and I deleted this game 4 times because I could not concentrate on my work or my normal existence. This game is highly addictive. So until you are like planning to play this professionally for quite some time, then sure, then go ahead, play the game. Otherwise, just all is well. That's what you got to do, man. Well, this is what we have from Clash Royale on the day 4 of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Master League. We'll be right about back with some really intense CSGO, but when we'll be back with Adi. But for now, short break.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Welcome back everybody to the ESL India Premiership 2018's Summer Seasons Master League, brought to you by Omen by HP, Intel, HyperX, and presented to you by Nodwin Gaming and ESL. I'm your host Vagish Gotslebhan, and joining me now for the second game of the day 4 is none other than ex-team member of one of the teams playing today. That's what you're going to be referred to as today, Aditya Adisha.
Thank you, Vagish. That's a very energetic interview. I didn't see that coming after your Clash Royale segment where you were pretty dead.
I like CS in comparison to all the other games.
I mean, it is the better game. I mean, it is an esport.
Yeah, that is questionable, the entire term about esports and what should be sport, because now it's like Olympic Association has got this on board. Okay, this is a recognized sport, but
except
everybody
for
has
CS because it has to do with killing. Let's not even talk about the Olympics and that thing. Like, I don't want to get into. We talked about that one time during the D-Sport episode. I remember. We talked about this during the studio segment. For
why IOC is not considering CS.
Yeah,
I remember.
So I don't want to talk about that. I will go on a half-an-hour long tangent.
Fine. Hold ye horses, matey. We will talk about what's at hand today.
Today's game, yes.
Brutality versus VAC Banned is what we are looking forward to today. Now, Brutality. Brief recap here for those who are joining us new to this entire hullabaloo. Adi used to play for Brutality at a point in time before he hung up his mice and keyboard and brought new ones and decided, hey, I'm not going to use them to play, but I'd rather use them to write my reports and analysis. Yeah. Ta-da! Analyst Adi Shah.
Yeah, well, that's why now I am actually using a Rival 310 to just click on Excel documents.
I like that.
I have a gaming mouse.
Or play PUBG. Or play occasional PUBG.
I get to play PUBG only when I'm in Bombay, because I can't game on a laptop. Although I have a gaming laptop and it's an amazing laptop. By the way, it's an Omen. It's an Omen laptop. Another shout out to Omen right there. But yeah, I can't game on a laptop. I just find it wrong.
Very interesting.
But anyways, yeah, talking about Brutality, right? Like, I think I'm really excited about their squad. Actually, because I think we should take a look at the intro video, because this squad is the one just before I joined Brutality. This was their squad. They've gone back to it.
Okay, so before Brutality went downhill is basically what you're saying.
Screw you.
Let's take a look at Brutality here. I like A-Star's new look with the glasses. Definitely. Last time I saw
same look.
No, last time when he was here, he did not have glasses.
He used to wear lenses.
Yeah.
He's
now
always
he looks
had
like.
glasses,
So earlier he was a geek. Now he's a nerd.
No.
No, nothing like that.
What's wrong with wearing glasses?
I
mean, you're wearing sunglasses right now, and you're neither a geek nor a nerd. You're just
diseased.
Yeah,
I'm just diseased.
You're just a dick, basically. That's what you are. But yeah, anyways, getting back to Brutality, right? Like, this was the squad. A-Star, Fox, Venom, Rix, and Juventa. This was the squad right before I joined Brutality. Then A-Star left, and that's why I joined Brutality. And it's an amazing squad, and it's great to see them go back to basically 2 years. Like, they've been everywhere. Fox has played in Semper X. Fox has played in D5 with me. Well, Fox and me both left Brutality at one point, and we joined D5 at that time. And after that, Fox has been all around the place. A-Star has been to Entity, to Eternal, to whatever they called themselves at one point, and through his legal troubles and whatnot with with Entity. And I'm glad that he's found his family again. Let's put it that way, because this was the original family. These 5 players were the original Brutality, and I am so excited to see them play today, because I think these guys have been working really hard. I'm still very close to them, by the way, and I've seen them scrimming really hard. I've seen them practicing every sort of map, and Skadoosh is their substitute, who was their IGL for a little bit, so he'll bring in fresh ideas. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the opposition there. VAC Banned. All right, back again with the action here. That was Team VAC Banned, a team which we, when I use the word we, me and Adi both have spoken a lot about at length.
Yeah,
starting from the kind of weird
4-on-5,
names people have when they try to think of their nicks or their team names, and then moving on to the exhilarating showcase of gameplay, which definitely indeed should get somebody VAC banned.
Yeah, and also,
better VAC banned.
Also, I mean, I think the most fresh in our memory is the fact that they played most of the game 4-on-5. I think it was against War. Yeah,
last game 4-on-5. Yeah.
And I'm also actually just looking at my document here, and I just realized Chris, who was not there during that 4-on-5, he was the one with the internet problems, right? Chris is also their captain and in-game leader. So they were playing with a massive disadvantage against War, and hopefully the internet gods shine upon Chris tonight. And you know, he actually managed to show up for this game and actually play it. So yeah,
let's hope for the best. In fact, let's move on to the map pick and veto and see what's in store for us. Which map is this gonna be?
Apparently.
Yeah.
There we go.
So as we can see, VAC Banned has banned Train, Cobble and Nuke, and Brutality has gone ahead banned Mirage, Cash and Overpass. Leaves us with Inferno. Again.
Third Inferno in 4 days.
Again. I'm sick and tired of seeing Inferno. I'm sick and tired of seeing Banana apart. I'd rather see some good Trains, dude. Come on, Train is a nice map.
I'm actually very surprised that Brutality didn't go with Overpass, to be honest, because they had the option at the end, right? It could have been Overpass or Inferno. The thing with Inferno is, I hope Skadoosh was working with them for a while, and I hope they've been working on this map for a little bit, because it's a very tactical map, and we saw a bit of it. Like, we saw Invictus yesterday. We skipped over that game, right, because it was just not ending, basically. And by the way, talking about yesterday's game, I should say that as well. Yesterday's game has the Portal Esports versus Invictus game has been rescheduled to 16th, because they were, at one point they went down to 4-on-4, and the So Strong server in Chennai just died, things like that. So we had to reschedule that game as well. So it'll be played on 16th.
But isn't that like
it will be played off stream, but we will rerun it for the audience.
But isn't that
eventually.
unfair?
No, both the teams agreed, so it's alright. Both the teams wanted that.
Not that, like, okay, so in a lot of instances, not that the teams had much of a say in that.
No, the team, about the server. Yeah, hence, because it was a server issue, hence we agreed with the teams and gave them the reschedule. So it's not something we could control as well. So Strong servers are not run by us, they're run by So Strong. So if there is a problem, it happens, like, you know, whatever, it's internet, you know how things are. Like Telegram for the other day went down for 3 hours because a data center ran out of power. This is about a week ago, about a week or 10 days ago. So shit happens, basically. But yeah, I mean, back to this game, right? Inferno, I love this map, to be honest. I like that we're seeing it for the 3rd time out of 4 days, you know, like, because it's taking the, I think this sets the tone of the meta, because the meta right now, I want it to be more of a structured play meta in this year, not the chaos meta, right? I said this in an episode earlier as well. So yeah, I hope we see a good game. I hope to see something tactical from Brutality. Venom, if you're watching, don't just rush B. And yeah, I mean, actually, he can't be watching. That's illegal. Actually, I just realized he can't be watching. That's against my own rule set.
All right, before we head over to the game, actually, let's quickly take a look at the map first and see what it's all about.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and Banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
Alrighty then, so that's what the map is all about, Inferno, although I see zilch fires happening in this Inferno. Like, Inferno means like a plethora of fires around you. Well, hell is an Inferno.
So a lot of things are not to be taken literally.
Sure. Yeah, fine.
Like you keep saying I should not take your Dota MMR literally, right? You are a better player than what your MMR points out, right? So there's your example.
I like that. I like that. For once, you are definitely on point, Adi. In fact, let's move on to the other thing you would be definitely on point on. I'm talking about your prediction.
Brutality, single digit VAC ban. 16, below 16-9. Like, Brutality will win this between 16
I'm
6 to
suspecting,
16
given the
9.
last game's record of VAC Banned, I'm pretty sure this game is going to be forfeited.
Or it'll be finished 5-4.
I mean, sure, man. Like, why even bother when you know that one of the players are going to draw? Why even bother? In fact, I've been informed by the production that the casters are ready. Archisman fetish. I was going to say fetish.
It's fet now.
It's
There's no
fet.
fetish.
It's now officially fet.
Yes, it's just fet. We told him, right? It was Archishman, Archie, Fet, Prads, Pradhan. I told him to pick one.
So then Archishman Pradhan and Mamba Senior are going to be casting this game.
Mamba Senior has a name.
So Archishman Pradhan and Mamba Senior are going to be casting this
Ranjit Patel.
I do not know who is Ranjit Patel.
Mamba Senior.
Who is Mamba Senior then?
He's a guy who's 8 years younger to me.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, I did not realize Bruce Wayne is Batman. Batman is Bruce Wayne. Wow, I knew it. Duh. So Mamba Senior, Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel and Archie Pradhan are going to be
casting this game, so why don't we go over to the game?
Thank you. Yes, let's head over to the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership. The Masters League is well underway. Today's game is going to be between the crowd favorites, the nation's heartthrob, Team Brutality versus VAC Banned. Now, Team Brutality, they've seen a huge roster shuffle up. A-Star back with the boys where it all started for him, and Foxy rejoining the team as well. And the core remains the same, Juventa, Rix, and Venom. On the other side is VAC Banned, and with me today is the ever so handsome, ever so hot, ever so prepared, Mr. Mamba Sar. Mamba Senior.
The meme is not going to die. Mamba Sar. Well, thanks a lot for the warm introduction. It's going to be Juventa. I was going to buy the kit. And Ace are trying to tap away. Ronnie Kaka is going to miss that bullet by an inch. Still takes some amount of damage to work with. And he's going to fall back. A-Star, the only guardian towards the B-bomb side. We have Foxy with the rotation coming up. So the core playing towards the A-bomb side. And Rex being surprised right there is going to get taken down by Jimmy with a headshot. And Juventa throwing the smoke is going to be surviving on 11 points of health. Now, this is going to be interesting to see. He does have the kit to work with, but Foxy and Juventa, neither of these two guys have Kevlar, so the aim punch is going to be a big problem against the Glocks because, it's kind of notorious for the aim punch, and A-Star will have to step it up big time because I haven't really seen him play for any team since a very long time after the entire Eternal Entity debacle. But we have the smoke coming up towards the CD side and the flashbang as well. A-Star is going to be completely blinded, but Foxy in the first one can get the second as well. Nope. But Foxy is going to fall back. A-Star is going to find the frag on Jimmy. It's going to oh my god! Ranikaga is going to get taken. Now we'll try and go around, get the third frag as well. But Free Kill getting the frag onto Venom. And Foxy just waiting out behind the smoke. Can he pull this off? Question Free Kill in a 2v3. The bomb has not been planted yet. They are going to wait it out. 28 seconds on the clock to work with. A-Star doing a lot of damage in terms of time, making sure that he plays the time, and he's going to go wait it out. It's going to get taken down. The Free Kill getting 2 frags. Foxy trying to fall back, doesn't have ammo in his gun. He's going to fall back, try and get the first one. Oh boy, what a round that was, because Free Kill bringing the round back from nowhere, getting a quad kill and winning the round for his team.
I mean, A-Star did his best, getting 2 kills, holding down that B bomb side for so long, not allowing the bomb to go down. But his teammates, I mean, it's a smoke, guys. You can push through it. You can just play around it, wait for it to dissipate, and then push it. You had the man advantage, but they went too passive. They went too turtle. They gave up too much control over that B bomb side, expecting the bomb to go down. And I think VAC Banned did the best possible play available to them at that time with the man down. They pushed out as well. They didn't hold back. Oh, what a nade from VAC Banned. Beautiful, almost nading themselves to oblivion. Just what I like to see.
With that point, we have the flashbang, and Venom is going to be boosted up top. And one thing I really like from Brutals is the fact that they went in for the flashbangs and not the head armor, because they do realize in eco rounds or anti-ecos or whatever you might want to call them, the flashbangs can actually do a lot of damage in terms of, the tear side rushing down, because these are the rounds where they won't try and, have they won't try and split up, right? They would want the map control early on, try and get some sort of information and waiting for some sort of aggression from the CTs. But in the late game, they are going to go in all together and try and rush more bomb side down. So the flashes are going to be really effective. And if they can capitalize on it, Foxy, I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do along with Venom right there. But it is going to be a B take coming up. Everyone except for Jimmy are going to be going in towards the B bomb side. The flashing blinding Foxy absolutely is going to fall back, and it does look like it could be a fake. It is actually a fake. The rotation is coming in. A-Star is going to be waiting it out, and I'm pretty sure these guys will realize. And look at that, the Riggs getting the headshot onto Jimmy, and they will realize that it is a B fake coming up. But A-Star is still going to wait it out towards the CD base. Spawn is going to make his way towards the arches, and this could actually be the B pincer play coming up. And CDs are absolutely clueless about this. Oh my god, this could be big coming in from Spawn. Fit, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Spawn's going to be the linchpin here, but he's made a lot of noise. A-Star will be aware. No, he's not. He's going to get shot in the back, peppered by 9mm bullets. And now Foxy is going to face the music. Spawn doing a lot of work, getting 2 quick kills already. But he's solo Venom. All he has to do is land a spray bullet. But nope, he's going to get glocked in the face. But still, 2 players, 2 weapons. Can they do it? 1v1 now. And indeed, sorry, 2v1 in fact. And Juventa finding the 2 quick kills towards the end there. Very patient play coming in from Brutality. They didn't go aggressing out. Wait, what? Okay, he has enough time. He just wanted to upgrade the gun. All right, Rix. All right, I see what you did there. The thing is that that play could have worked out had that player not gone down in apartments. That's Jimmy. Jimmy was the lurk. Jimmy was supposed to be the active lurk who was supposed to hold down the rotation. But unfortunately, Rix just made a play towards apartments late round, got the kill, got the information, and allowed for his team to set up and turtle up towards the B bomb side. Venom doing a good job staying alive for as long as he did, which again, obviously allowed for Rix and Juventa to come in, swoop in fast and swift to get those 2 quick kills and get the defuse in. VAC Banned, again, as is the case with Indian CS, they lose to pistols. I mean, Mamba, how many times have you seen this? How many?
Every single match, every single Indian match that I've cast, I've seen this. And the only saving grace was the match between Too Easy and Entity, where we saw some decent rounds coming in. And this, I don't even know what to say about this, because it's frustrating after a point. It's annoying after a point. You have to point out the same mistake again and again and again, telling them this is not how you play anti-ecos. This is not what you do. And they keep on making those same mistakes, even though, VAC Banned had a man coming in from the CT base. CDs were absolutely clueless about it. Asa got taken down from behind, and they still managed to lose a round. I'm not even sure how to explain it to these guys. But, well, one of the players is actually going to time out, and internet has just been a problem. And I'm pretty sure, had I been from VAC Banned after what happened in the last matchup, I would have just asked everyone to turn up at the cafe and try and play, because this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all.
Indeed, it's not. And, well, Jimmy, this time it's Jimmy. Last time it was Chris. Hopefully it does get sorted out. I asked the players before the game whether everyone's internet and power situation is sorted out. They seem fairly confident that they're not going to face at least VAC Banned. Because, see, I've never really seen Brutality face much problems in terms of technical issues. That could be because they are, as Adi says, Bombay boys, and Mumbai rarely ever has any technical difficulties, especially in Adi's eyes. Adi loves Mumbai. And I get it. I very rarely see people, but then again, VAC Banned is also from Mumbai, so I don't know. I don't know whether to take Adi's words seriously or not.
I'm fairly certain about what Adi's counter argument is going to be. He's going to be like, don't be worried, he's not Mumbai.
Well, whatever.
But I mean, yeah, it does fall in the vicinity, and you just can't help it, because there are certain areas where there are only a few select ISPs available, and this had been one of the major concerns for Brutality as well when we had Vaz and Pexa playing for these guys. And I whenever I used to step in for these guys, when I used to be the sub in a few scrims or a few matches, I do remember talking about these guys, and Venom did ask these guys to get a new connection, but it was just not possible for them, because there was literally one internet service provider for Vaz and Pexa, and they just couldn't do anything about it. But nonetheless, the game is going to go live. We have the player coming back in, and we actually have a sub coming up, so this is kind of interesting. And nonetheless, the game is going to go live. Fricks having my favorite gun for the anti-ecos, the Mac-10, and well, 123 doesn't even have Kevlar, so 2 AKs being bought up on the terrace side, and they are going to go in for that force buy. If this works out, this is actually going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, they did get the bomb down, so why not? Just go for broke and try and get something back on the cards. You know that the CT economy isn't that strong either. They've just bought in. They had 2 players surviving. So you know that you can actually break it back, and it's a viable strat to go for the force buy and keep going for the force buy until one team puts 2 rounds on the cards, consecutively, and it's gonna start off well. Spawn does take a lot of damage though. Should be passing that AK on over towards Chris or Rane Kaka, the other player with armor, and because he's down to 10 HP actually. So I don't know how much change he can affect with that little. There we go. The AK gets passed off on to Rane Kaka. It's more or less an A stack. A player has rotated over from the B bomb side, that's Foxy, and has swung over to A. And VAC Banned need to be careful. I mean, they have time. They still can swing towards B, but it looks like it's going to be a commit towards A.
Oh, this is going to be so interesting if the anti-eco again fails. But, well, the Molotov is going to go in, and they are going to know no one. But Juventa will have to place, but he will have to be the one with the impact pack coming. But, well, again, the first one is going to get traded out really quickly. A-Star not being traded out, though. This is going to be interesting. Oh, my God. A-Star going huge right. They can get the 4th as well. Nope, that is not going to happen. And A-Star, the wall, the pillar for Brutality, getting 3 frags on the A-bomb side from 1 box, not being traded out. And this was a huge mistake coming from VAC Banned.
I mean, and that is why A-Star, in my book, is one of the deadliest players in Indian Counter-Strike. Like, last year, everyone was singing praises about Sai, Hunter, Excali, and Ace's in-game leading, but everybody missed the fact that, A-Star was the linchpin. He was the player bailing his team out, no matter what team he played for, time and again, playing those crucial, pivotal roles, getting those 2-3 Ks, and there we go, Kobe to start things off with. Not a bad start. I think Spawn just swallowed that nade and it blew up in his belly. It's just, A-Star makes these clutch plays, and he does it ever so often. It makes him such a dangerous player to face off against, and such a frustrating player to play against. He is just that good at this game.
He sure is, and he does, he does play this game really, really well, and he plays the opponents like a piano at a point. And but well, nonetheless, it's gonna be Rix finding the headshot onto 1, 2, 3. And it's just a hard name to pronounce, to be honest, for me at least, because it's it's just one of those names when you have a tongue twister trying to pronounce. So as a caster, I usually wish that the players have fairly simple names, but well, that is going to be the 3rd round coming over. Brutality and Free Kill is just going to wait it out, trying to get some exit tracks. I mean, he has a P250 who could actually risk going out. I don't know why he's sitting at an angle where he's exposed from 4 different sides. And he's not even playing the distance properly, and he's going to get taken down. We'll pay the price for it. And I'm not quite sure what Free Kill was trying to do, but the amount of cash on the terrace side is good enough. They are going to go in for the buy. Won't have the best resources in the world, but they'll have enough to work with. And if Brutal's going for early map control in this round, I think the late round game for VAC Banned is going to be fairly difficult because they will run out of resources trying to gain that map control back.
Indeed, but well, VAC Banned will go in for the proper buy. They do have a smattering of utility here and there, so they can vie for the early map control. The thing is, it looks like Brutality are just in no mood to take prisoners. They're just going to go bombarding up mid. There is a player who's going to die, and wow, that was just fast-paced aggression across the board. Venom still not taking his finger off the W button, and he's just going to go for it all. Oh, well, okay. And Rane Kaka, okay, spins around 180 degrees, gets A-Star in the face as well. There's still another player, Rix, in mid. He's going to make his way towards safety. Has bomb control. This is dangerous. And Rix with a knife out, pulls out the gun, unable to left click on time. And now it's 2v2. While it started off very well with the aggression, it kind of went south quite fast.
That's just because they took things way too casually after getting those opening picks towards mid. And I did call they would go in, they could probably go in for that early map control, and they actually went in for that early aggression, got those picks as well. And I feel that Venom should not have pushed Banana because of the smoke, and he just did. And he died out. One of the other players died out, Rex being a little unfortunate, and it has been reduced to a 2v2 now. The terrace side does have an advantage because of the fact that, any map in this game, in an equal situation, it is always going to be the terrace side which will have an advantage, and they have absolutely no control towards the B bomb side, the CTs. And we have the rotation coming up. They do have a lot of information that it is going to be a B play coming up. 30 seconds on the clock. The entire A bomb side is clear. Apartments is clear. So they do realize that it is going to be a B play coming in. Free Kill will have to make sure that he goes in time along with Rane Kaka and gives appropriate cover, because this was the Brutality lineup which was notorious for not being never mind. Foxy is going to find the frag on Rane Kaka. The flashbang is going to go in with bomb. He'll try and plant the bomb, but that won't be possible because Juventa just showing his shoulder. The flashbang is going to come in. They won't peek out, and this is what experience does to you guys. And well, the timer is going to run out. He's going to try and find the frag onto him, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to be possible. Foxy is going to get taken down. Uenta trying to find the frag is not going to be able to do that. He's going to survive though without getting any sort of cash bonus, and this is where experienced teams and comparative lesser experienced teams get differentiated because of the fact that Brutals, even though they were in 2v1, they had the man advantage. They did not push out because the bomb was not planted, and they realized that he does not have enough time to plant the bomb down.
Exactly. These are the little things that come to you with experience, and as you play the game, they just become second nature to you. You always have to keep an eye out on the timer, on your utility, on the opponents. You have the number games playing in the back of your mind, and it's just been like a show of being outclassed so far for VAC Banned. I mean, it's still early days. VAC Banned still have a lot of time to claw their way back into the game, but Brutality, this is just a completely different Brutality that I'm used to seeing over the past year. I've cast a lot of their games, and they have not looked this decisive, this driven, this motivated in a very long time.
Well, that is absolutely true, and Spawn is going to be surviving on 27 points of health and anti-eco coming. And Uenta is going to find the first flag inside apartments. Krish is going to get taken down, and well, I'm not quite sure what sort of a push this is coming up from the terrace. We have a guy waiting towards the T-slope, and 1, 2, 3 just waiting it out. He's going to get smoked up. The flashbang is going to go out as well. Asa will try and find that early flag, but oh no, that is not going to happen. 50 seconds on the clock. I thought it was 55. Foxy waiting it out towards Banana. I hope he does not push, because if he does, it's going to get taken down. And Ronekaka just missing those bullets. The flashbang is going to be coming in, and Foxy is going to be as white as I don't even want to say that, but the flashbang, the counter flash going in. And Venom is going to find the first strike on a Ronekaka, holding the push down, getting the second one as well. Can he nail the third? Nope, that is not going to happen. 1, 2, 3, getting the flag on a Venom, and it is going to be a 2v4. And oh boy, A-Star is going to get taken down by WoW and reducing it to a 2v3. And this is going to be interesting. 20 seconds on the clock. They're going to move back towards A-bomb side. Rex is going to be holding mid, and this looks impossible for the terrorist. WoW is going to get taken down, and so is Spawn if he tries to go in, because he does not have any sort of Kevlar. He doesn't have any sort of protection, and he doesn't even have HP. So, well, he's just going to try and save that weapon up. He won't have a lot of cash to work with anyway, and that is going to be the 5th round coming up for the CT side.
Yep, and the right decision coming out from Spawn to actually go for the save. He realized that he had $2,000, so he can easily go for the armor utility buy-up once the round was over. And it's actually an economy equalization thing at this point, but the only person who's going to struggle with a gun and stuff is going to be Freakill. He's still been relegated to the P250. I hope he would have picked up a Galil, if nothing else. I mean, the Galil any day is a superior weapon to the FAMAS. That's the cheap rifle on the CT side. And now there's going to be aggression towards Banana. Quick play towards Banana from both these teams. Venom and Foxy. Oh my god, Foxy just getting annihilated there by Chris. The quick boost and the fast pace just catching him off guard. Venom now the sole defender towards the B-bomb side. Okay, A-Star having rotated in, getting boosted up towards Flabed. But VAC Banned don't really need to play off this frag. They can just easily take a chill pill, fall back, and just regroup, get map control elsewhere. Because look at Uenta. I mean, it's Uenta_Intel, and I know it's his sponsor, but the amount of intel he's gathering for his team right now is extremely important, and that actually allows A-Star to stay where he is and stay put and shore up the defenses towards the B-bomb site.
And well, A-Star is going to get boosted up, so he'll have a huge role to play. Can he get the second as well? What is happening? No trading potential, and A-Star is just going beast mode, getting 3 flags left, right, and center after every 2 rounds. And I think if Brutals win this game with a huge margin, it's going to be because of A-Star and his comeback that he's trying to make. And I think he has, well, he has 11 frags in 6 rounds. That's almost 200 ADR, even though this is the 7th round. So I think his ADR is somewhere around 170, 180. Well, Spawn is going to get taken down by Uenta, and that is going to be the 6th round coming up. It's almost going to be the 7-1 thing. The meme still lives. I hope the scoreline actually goes down to 7-1, so we could probably just bring it back.
Hopefully. Let's not... Actually, it should. I mean, look at the money on VAC Banned. They can go for a buy, but it's going to be a very neutered buy in terms of utility. And that's, I feel, has been VAC Banned's biggest problem so far, has been their very shoddy usage of utility. Last round, you saw A-Star being boosted up on a Flabed had nothing to do with the fact that CT smoke had a huge gaping hole there. You could literally fit a proper 18-wheeler truck through that gap in the CT smoke, and A-Star just abused it. getting 2 kills from that boost spot, which is more or less a one and done spot, is just not done. And look at that aggression. Foxy with the nade, Venom just mowing down the players coming up B. This is just no respect gameplay. This has A-Star written all over it. This is what A-Star did when he was in NTD, like just completely bully the opponents into submission, just beat them, batter them down, and batten down the hatchets. A-Star, okay, got a little carried away with the praise there, but Rix is there for the trade, and it's all well and good. Now it's just down to 1, 2, 3. Wow. To see if he can clutch out a 1v4.
Well, that is actually going to be really a little too much in this situation because they have their crossfire set up towards A-bomb. So we have a guy who's way too deep inside apartments. Rix just making sure that he takes enough time off the clock for the rotation to come in, and the information gets passed on to the teammates. So he's just going to wait it out, and 1, 2, 3 is just going to get destroyed by Uenta from apartments. And well, 7-1, never forget. Never forget.
Never forget. I mean, considering that the World Cup is it this year? Yeah, it is this year, right? I hope Germany does put in another praiseworthy performance. I love that team. I love those players. It's so close to me.
I could make a few meanings out of it, but well, we have one of the other players timing out, and this time it's actually not timed out. He has disconnected. So I think Krish. No, it's not Krish. Who was the other player who? Okay, Jimmy, Aja. I think that's what his teammates are saying right now as well. Oh yeah, so but the admin says that they won't allow a resub coming in unless someone else times out. So that is not going to happen. And it is going to be 1, 2, 3 who will have to play the entire match without Jimmy. So, well, I hope VAC Banned learns a lesson from at least this matchup, if not the last one. And, next time they make sure that they play from the same place, at least if nothing at all. Because if there is going to be someone who is going to time out, it would be the entire team. But, which would be really less plausible. I don't even know what the word is. But, yeah, playing from a cafe generally would not, a good cafe at least, you're never going to time out.
Never actually played from a cafe, so I'll just take your word on that.
No, the good part about better cafes is the fact that they do have multiple internet connections. So if one goes down, they do have the backup running. If they lose power, they do have the generators and the inverters running. So yeah, I mean, the only thing that would probably stop the match or not allow the players to connect is if the piece is literally caught fire, which is also possible, provided how small the cafes in Mumbai are.
That is true. That is true. Yes. But then I think that's a general problem with anything commercial space oriented in Mumbai, because we were discussing this yesterday, right? The rents are so damn high. It's very difficult. Like I was talking to Shravan, the owner of LXG, and I think he's the co-owner or owner. I'm not sure. I was there for something. Yeah, it was my friend's birthday, Formless's birthday. He's playing in the Starter Cup as well. So Shravan was telling me that, they're looking to open up a cafe in Mumbai, but the rents are just so sky high for prime locations that he's having to reconsider the whole endeavor. And I'm like, I understand, because, I've heard the horror stories of the rents in Mumbai. So I guess, yeah, like what you said, finding a big enough space to accommodate 20, 30 PCs is going to be difficult at the very least.
It sure is, and the amount of heat. The worst part about that is the fact that if you want more PCs in a cramped space, it's just more heat in a lesser area, and that is also harder to dissipate. So it's just one of those problems. And but I did hear the news about a new cafe in Chennai opening up, which is spread across 6,500 square feet. And from the video that I saw, it's actually pretty lit. But
is this
I think it is Arc Nemesis. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I've been seeing posts about that. I want to go check it out, actually. I've never been a very cafe kind of guy because, when I grew up, cafes were literally what they were 5 PCs in a basement and, 5 people yelling at each other while they fragged each other quick. So that was a cafe experience. Not really the best for me. So I've stayed away from cafes all my life. But now that I go to LXG and I see what it's become, I'm like, yeah. I think I might want to go there, go to Arc Nemesis and try out the PCs there and play a couple of games. I don't know. It looks intriguing to me.
Well, the worst part for me when I was growing up in Surat was the fact that we didn't really have good cafes, even though it was like, what, 2014. And the only times I went to cafes to play was when my classmates wanted to play Counter-Strike. But they only took me twice because I absolutely destroyed them. And from the third time on, they didn't even invite me because they were like, well, it's not fun playing with you. Because the only map they played was 2000, if you remember that map. It's literally 2 alleys on the left and right and 2 walls which have been cut off from the center. And it's that simple of a map, and if you have an op, you're just holding that angle off, and there's literally nothing you can do. So yeah, we've grown up with a lot of different maps, a lot of simple maps. I don't know if you remember F5 Pool Day as well. It was, I think it was one of those
pool party,
one of those maps,
something like that. Yes, yes.
It was one of those maps which was played in every single cafe by students who were just starting off with Counter-Strike, and they were fairly new to it, and they did not know anything else about Counter-Strike except for the fact that you just point, aim, and shoot. And
I mean, it's still the same. You point and shoot. It's a first-person shooter. Everything else is just garnish, right? Like I was saying yesterday as well, like you can have a strat book that's like 20 times the collected works of Sherlock Holmes, but if you can't shoot, you're MSL. So no point. Like, you're going to be a burden at the end of the day. It's going to be a 4v5. Anyway, we're back with the game. 7-1 is the score. Everything seems sorted out. It is going to be an eco for VAC Banned. So for all intents and purposes, it should be 8-1 in favor of Brutality. Brutality just looking unstoppable. I think Adi was right. He was talking about how Brutality spent a lot of time with Skadoosh over the lull period preparing this map. And it looks like they've done their homework very well. And they're just taking the game right to VAC Banned, and they haven't let their feet off the accelerator since the word go. Rix, though, needs to be careful. Oh, no, he doesn't. A-star with the AWP. He's going to get chased down. That's an op given up, and Rix, okay. Getting overwhelmed there towards apartments. An op gone and another rifle up for grabs, but Juventus going to do the smart thing. He's going to fall back, play a bit more passive, allow for the rotation to come in from the B bomb site. The early exchanges may not have gone as Brutality would have expected. A-star missing that pixel shot. It's a very difficult shot, a very difficult angle that A-star was holding. And if it's anyone you'd expect to hit that shot, it would be A-star. But unfortunately there, he missed. And, well, Brutality now have to go on the back foot and try and not give up this round and lose an eco.
Well, that is absolutely true. And one of the other things that I'm surprised by the fact is that Brutality is playing with absolutely no regards for the skill of VAC Banned. I mean, even though they are the lesser favored team in this matchup, but the way Brutals have been playing, I think they're just building bad habits, and they are playing way too casually because they're arcing up a lot of frags away, and the deaths have just not been that satisfying because it's always a mistake that they've made and died out. And talking about the delay that was caused in this before this round started was because of the fact that Jimmy, when he connected, had $16,000, and the admins actually fixed it. And when we went live, his cash was, along with the team, I think it was around $2,000 or something, or even less than that actually.
No, it was the same money that 123 WoW would have had when he left the server. Now, Spawn just holding on to that AWP again, has $2,900, so we'll be able to buy around it. And I think he might want to pass that op over to either Chris or Jimmy, who favor the AWP a bit more than Spawn. This is not our too easy Spawn, the god tier opper from, I think, 1.6. Spawn has been around for a while, if I'm not mistaken. Not this one, the original Spawn. God, there's been so many.
That's Abdi Samad Muhammad, the actual Spawn that we're talking about.
No, that's NIP, bro.
We're talking about the Indian Spawn. Well,
Yes.
that's Moldwakle, and he has been around for a very long time actually. And it's just one of those names that has been overused. As a matter of fact, when I used to go out for college tournaments, I used to play with the name Spawn because I did not really have an in-game name back then. But yeah, getting back to the game.
Kya sir? Aisa kya sir? Mamba sir. Naam rakhna hai karna sir.
I used to play with my actual name, that is Ranjit. And something added behind it. I used to be a huge fan of some singer, but nonetheless, getting back to the game right now, we have the art smoke coming up, the flashes as well pouring in towards mid, but Rex is going to molly off the boilers area so that no one pushes out, and the nade is not going to do any sort of damage except for the fact that Spawn is going to get taken down to 67 points of filth, and A-star holding the angle with an AWP, and this is surprising. A-star is AWPing right now. I'm not quite sure why though.
It's a very aggressive angle, and it's an angle that Kenny S really likes to play. But then, guys, those of you in chat who are budding oppers, and I know this is Indian CS, so everyone considers themselves Kenny S. Actually watch Kenny S play with the op on Inferno. You will learn so much as to how to op. And as I say that, we see Rane Kaka slowly inching his way into the site, and A-Star's doing actually a very good job of playing like Kenny S on the A-bomb side with the AWP. And look at the kills, him, Juventa, they're just racking up the kills, 2 kills apiece to each of them. And he pulls out the USP, and okay then, that is just a slap in the face of Jimmy. A-Star adding insult to injury. Jale pe namak chidakte hue USP se Jimmy ka khatma. There, you wanted Hindi, you got Hindi.
Yeah, we've been asked a lot why are we casting in Hindi, and that's just to appeal to the broader audience, because not everyone in India, actually, I don't even know if anyone from a lot of people from Bangalore don't speak in Hindi. I've seen a lot of teams. I used to play with a few players from Bangalore, and they actually struggle with Hindi. So that's just to appeal to the broader audience, and it's ESL. In the end, it's the Electronic Sports League. So that's the reason why we're casting in English, and A-Star is going to get taken down. So early aggression paying off for the terrorist and the flashbang. Not quite sure why. I mean, he wasn't even going to fall back. There's no one pushing up. So that's just a waste of a flashbang, in my opinion, Fed.
Yeah, and right now, VAC Banned should actually consolidate around this man advantage. They've taken man advantage from Brutality time and time again, only to lose it just like that. And this has been a problem. You don't want to send in Spawn alone there. Why would you want to do that? Just have someone there to trade with him. This is what Too Easy does so well, which is why they see so much success on this map Inferno, is that they've always played in pairs. They always have someone to trade out their teammates with. Now, Juventa's stuck in a bit of a pickle. Because he's kind of exposed from apartments, but no, Rix has swung around to cover his balcony, and he's going to be marking that. Needs to be careful. This is a very commonly checked spot, and Chris, he's one of those players who's extremely meticulous, knows the game inside out, should not be making these mistakes. And now he's going to take over the role of Jimmy, who's going to be playing active lurk towards the A bomb site, while the rest of his team moves towards B.
And well, this is actually going to be fairly interesting to see, because it is a 4v4. Foxy is on 19 points of health with the flashbang to work with. Juventa is going to get taken down. It's going to be Venom who will have to pull off the entire B side on it. Foxy won't be able to do a lot. Venom in the first one can get the second as well. It's going to get it. Venom going beast mode, getting 2 frags right there. Wasting a lot of time as well for the terrorist side. And Foxy waiting on 19 points of health. He has to step it up right now. He's going to push through the smoke at the most perfect time possible. And this is what Game Sense does, boys. And I'm not sure if they realize that there is the backstab coming up, and Rex does realize, and he's holding the most perfect angle possible. Well, I did not pay attention to the time, and it is going to be VAC Banned losing out on the round because of the fact that they just ran out of time.
And that, again, Foxy, the timing, the brain on this guy, so good. He saw that the timer was low, that Rane Kaka had to go for the plant, waited for the bomb plant to be initiated, pushed the smoke, shot him in the butt, gave him an extra hole to poop out of, and just went, okay, fine, now time's over. Come at me, bro. Come at me. You're not killing us anyway. There's 2 of us, 1 of you. We're just going to play crossfires, and that's all they did. And look at A-Star. This man has 0 chill. 0 chill. He's going to take the shot and fall back. Indeed, he does. That Molotov covering his retreat. Very smart play yet again from A-Star. Unfortunate there not to come away with the kill, but the intention was right, and it almost paid off.
Well, it sure did, but almost did. But Jimmy's gonna find the flag. I'm not even sure what he was trying to do right there. Just getting on top of the scooter, but Rex is gonna pick up the op, and now finally we'll see the op connecting a few shots, because A-Star was just missing a lot of shots. Rane Kaka is going to go down with the op. The flashbang is going to go in as well as, and Rex missing out on a few shots is kind of surprising, but Venom is going to get traded out really quickly, and Juventa finding the revenge frag as Rex goes down. Spawn is going to go down as well. It's going to be free kill in a 2v1 will go down as well, and the scoreline is 11-1, and right now Brutals are just destroying VAC Banned with absolutely no respect for them at all.
None whatsoever. This is, in the words of the immortal Red Eye, VAC Banned getting brutal, savage, wrecked. Quite literally. Quite literally.
Fed, I wish I could bring all of these things just as good as you do, because I think you're the best tailor of words in the country. And literally, you know.
You need to hear play. That man's a legend.
He's a god. He's a god. He's a god with his mouth, but Rex is going to fall back.
God with his mouth, huh? Mamba Sar, kya kar rahe ho?
I meant while casting, but Rane Kaka is going to be waiting outside the boiler, and I think he might actually get the frag, and Ronnie Kaka is going to go down, and that is going to be the opening frag coming up. And going in for the second shot, he's going to miss out. The Molotov is going to go and not allowing them to push up, and Asa is going to get taken down by the Deagle, and these guys have absolutely no respect. And I'm kind of surprised they're not going for the knife, because at this point, they're playing so carelessly that he might as well just go in for the knife. And free kill is going to be 34 points of health. Almost. He just saw his death right across the corner, but waited it out, realized that he's not going to die. And, well, that is going to be the 12th round coming up for the CT side.
Wow, this has been as one-sided a game as any. I mean, I think this is the first whitewash, at least as dominant a CT side as we've seen so far in the Masters League. But this is still early days, but Brutality, Jesus, they're living up to their name. It is just glorious to see Brutality play this level of confident CS. And one thing though, Venom has been putting in the hours. He's been playing next relentlessly, working on his raw mechanics and skill. And clearly they've spent time in the drawing board, ideating how to play maps, how to work on the trades, because their trade game has been on point so far. And it's really good to see them back in action, back in form. And look at Chris, even before he sees the whiff of an opponent, he's down to 8 HP. All he has to show for his efforts and map control is the burning smell of gunpowder, because he's just got naded to oblivion.
Well, that is absolutely true. And the way they had their last season, right? The entire last year, Brutals did not make a single stage appearance. So Venom, he is working off really hard. Oh my, what is he even doing? I don't get this. A-Star is just pushing out mid, got those 2 frags, and was absolutely clueless about the third guy. And he didn't even care, because he knew that he's going to get those 2 frags. And his team is just going to back him up. And I'm actually going to go down and talk to Venom after this match, and I'm going to ask him what was going on TeamSpeak, because the way these guys are playing, I'm not even sure if they're communicating at this point.
Dude, this is like the way A-Star's playing. It just reminds me how AKS or Ux plays on Pugs. He's like, "Arey W daba ke khatam karo yaar, chalo, khana khane jana hai" types. Like, it's just no respect. I don't get it. VAC Banned is a story team. They were in the Masters consistently last year, and they had a couple of decent performances. Finally, Rix does get put down. It does look like VAC Banned will finally get their second round on the board. But God, this has been extremely dominant performance coming out from Brutals. All right, okay. Foxy does get taken down. Now it's just a 1v3. Venom does manage to get a kill. He's going to reposition. Gonna push the smoke. Okay, dodges the flash, but Rane Kaka's there. And with that, VAC Banned do finally get their second round. Brutality 12, VAC Banned 2. Now, Inferno in the current meta, in the current day and age, is considered to be a little CT-sided. But, well, not this CT-sided.
And that moment of pause, I don't know how somehow I managed to mute my mic, which is kind of surprising. I think it was an accidental click, because I do have my mute button bound to mouse 4. But that aside, they do pick up the second round after about losing 12 rounds in a row. The only round they won was the first round, and Brutals have been doing an amazing job after that. So the flashbang, actually the smoke's going to go out. Minute and 35 seconds on the clock, trying to go in for that early map control. It is not going to happen. The C4 is waiting it out towards the alt-mid area, and Foxy is just spraying through, and Rex is holding off a pretty aggressive angle, expecting someone to come in from there, but that is not going to be the case, because everyone except for one of the players is towards Banana, and Rex is going to fall back, and there is no one watching mid right now except for the guy who's towards Archers inside the connector, and Fox is going to boost it up top. We saw this boost yesterday coming in from Portal Esports, and it did not really work out because he could not connect the shots, provided his ping was also high. And it's a pretty slow round coming from the Terry side. It looks to be an execute. The Molotov, this is sort of an identical execute coming in, like I think it was Invictus, but yeah, the Terry side is going to be coming in. Venom is going to be holding that smoke. Get the first one, get the second as well. Oh my god. Trying to get the third one. It has no respect at all. It's going to get taken down by Krish. And what is going on? This is not the Counter-Strike we were expecting to watch today. And Brutals have just been so savage with their matchup today.
I mean, Chris still has a flash. All they needed to do was flash through that smoke, and Foxy's just going to mow them down as they come in. Venom doing a bang-up job. Spawn does get a quick little headshot, but Rix is there to see off the half. 13-2 in favor of Brutality. Wow, that is the most dominant Counter-Strike that I've seen Brutality play in a very, very long time.
Well, it's kind of surprising the way this match turned out. I mean, yeah, Adi did mentioned that it's going to be a matchup where Brutals are going to win below single digits, but so one-sided. That is surprising. And VAC Banned, they have to step it up. They have to get that. The first round is going to be of absolute importance, because if they lose the first round, it's game done and dusted for them, unless Brutals, mess up their anti-eco, which could be the case, but they have been, playing really flawlessly today. And talking about the post plants, I really want to remind you of this thing. So this was the same lineup when they used to complain a lot about post plants, and when they were going in for the plants, because once they had control of the bomb site, they literally forgot that there is a guy who's carrying the C4 who will try and plant the bomb down as well, and they gave absolutely no cover to them, to the C4. So this is going to be interesting to see if the problem still persists with the same lineup, and Fecal is going to get a lot of information. He's going to get dinged to 2 points of health. Will fall back as well. Venom leading the charge, and he has improved his mechanical skills. We do have the smoke going out, actually the flashbang going out, and well, he's going to find the first side. Spawn getting 2 1-taps, 2 beautiful 1-taps onto the terrace side, and the C4 is going to make its way towards the B-bomb side. Are they actually going to get this or no? Well, Ronnie Kaka is going to get taken on first, and the first one can get the second as well. He's going to fall back. A-Star is going to go down. Oh my god! VAC Banned. And those 1-taps. Spawn, you got.
Very good pistol round coming out from VAC Banned. Good to see that they still have signs of life left in them. See, the previous game, the one thing that it showed me is that VAC Banned, there's no lack of spirit and determination in this team. They took the fight 4v5, and they actually tried to make something happen. So, as they say, it's a game of CS. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And there's still, well, technically there's still 13 to 14 rounds of Counter-Strike left to play. So what can VAC Banned do? Can they pull it together? Can they mount a glorious comeback? And it's a bum rush towards the B bomb side, like 4 people rushing straight up and straight blinded. Rane Kaka opens the spray, gets one. Unfortunately, does do a lot of damage onto Juventa. There's Chris, he gets bags a couple himself. And look at that. Look at A-Star. He's going to go the matchmaking route. 4 people go B, I'll go plant A. And unfortunately for him, this isn't matchmaking, and Jimmy is sitting there singing Aja, 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 Aja. And he does
You're never going to get tired of that joke, are you?
Never. I'm going to beat that dead horse till Kingdom Come. Beautiful game, by the way, Kingdom Come. Should check it out.
Oh, I wish I had the time. I have my exams coming up. I barely have time to cast these matches, but well, it's a lot of fun to do it, especially doing it alongside you. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've cast like 4 matches. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. But yeah, I wish I could play more games. And there is side, the other force, except for Foxy who has this scout, I'm not quite sure if they're training multiple oppers or they want to go in for the multiple op setup if the time comes. But I have just been very surprised. And Rex, what? Fed, I don't know what to make say. This is not making any sense to me.
Wow. The bait and switch. Oh my god, Rich, what am I watching? What is this shuffle? What is this?
What is going on? Oh my god.
Everyone's just fluffing their shots left, right, and center on Brutality. After that glorious 1D coming out from Rix, it was just a comedy of errors. Just everyone shooting nothing but air, left, right, and center.
I would be so surprised if Venom can actually pull this off with the scout. Not with the CZ. He has been fairly decent with the CZ to work, especially on Mirage while locking the B bomb side down on Ekrons, and he did spot him. He's going to try and find the flag. Can he connect the shot though? Missing a lot of shots. He has to realize that he's going to wait it on. He's not going to have one more bullet, just one more bullet, and he would have killed the guy. But just being a little too unfortunate right there. I would have actually pulled out the scout, jumped, and try and shoot him. But yeah, I guess.
One thing I'll say, Venom was using the CZ before it was CZ-EZ. Okay. He's been with the CZ since last year. He's given up the Tech 9. So respect to him for being ahead of the curve. So I would have expected him to actually gotten that kill, considering that, you know, the top of Jimmy's skull was visible through the railing. But well, now is the full eco territory. Now I think they have so many rounds to play with. They're just testing out how many pistol setups they can run and which one will work out, I'm guessing. And A-Star getting the opening. How? Without any damage. Okay, then. Well,
I think this is just one of those 30-round scrims that Brutals are actually playing right now. And they're like, you know what? We don't care. We're just going to try out different setups and see if it works out. And the flashbang is going to go in from A-Star. Everyone's just going to pour outside the apartments area. And Ranakaka is just spraying them down left, right, and center. And it's going to be Spawn who's going to try and find those frags. It's going to be biffing a lot of shots. Juventa will come around the corner and waste a lot of time. The bomb is going to go down, and that will give them extra $800 to work with. And Juventa, oh, that was a sweet shot from Krish.
Yep, it was.
I'm actually really surprised the way it's actually turning out, and Brutal's just trying on so many different setups. And the scoreline is 13-6 in the favor of the CT side, and I think they should start taking things really seriously from this point on, because if they lose this round, the economy of the CT side will just start snowballing, and it could actually be a really hard comeback.
I mean, now that Brutality does have the weapons and the utility to play with, especially Rix on the big green gun now, before A-Star, before Sai, before Hunter, Rix was the big daddy with the big green gun in Indian Counter-Strike. And there's a reason for it. Well, Venom's dead, but he he defined what it was to play with the AWP in the Indian scene. He was defining the meta, and Jimmy needs to be careful, and, well, Jimmy's dead.
That's one way to pass rounds.
Yeah, and that's how this game has been, right? Like, you see someone, VAC Banned have the man advantage, they won't do something stupid. Nope, they will, and they're dead. All right.
That's a lot of teams from. I'm not quite sure what he is, if this is going to work out. This is actually going to work out. That was beautiful, but A-Star just dabbing and saluting him right there. He's like, work, but I still know where you are. I'm gonna get the frag on you. Inbuilt wall hacks with the specs that is playing right now. I think the contact lenses, I don't care about Krish. It's gonna be holding off that arch angle with the AWP, and we actually have a double AWP set up on the CT. So if the bomb goes down, it is going to be a really difficult retake. Also, by the way, when A-Star got that frag while being absolutely blinded, he did not take any sort of damage. So that was a huge fail on the CT spot, and A-Star just being really lucky. Whoa, okay, this guy can play some Counter-Strike.
Now, 20 seconds left on the clock. Brutality need to make a move. Rane Kaka holding steady by library. He's going to give up the A bomb side, play passive, allow for the rotation to come in, and then retake together. And bomb will go down. And why is Rane? Okay, then. That play didn't make much sense. He should have just played from library, allowed for the rotation to come in, and then try retaking together. Now, just an AWP on the retake against 2 rifles. Okay, there we go. Spawn switches out for the AK-47, but Juventa's already gotten such a good position. Caught with a nade out, though, doesn't take any damage. That is surprising. And Juventa will seal the deal. Hits the final nail into the coffin. That is a 7.62 bullet to the face of Spawn. No, Spawn God XD. Okay, oh God, I can't read. My eyes. But with that, Brutality move on to 14 rounds, winning their first gun round, and the double AWP investment. Mama, now that is what you were pointing out. Not only is the double AWP investment a difficult round to retake with, a difficult buy to retake around, but it's such a heavy investment. And look at the buy coming out from VAC Banned. It is such a shoddy buy.
That's absolutely true. And they have 2 UMP45s, a FAMAS to work with, and the guys with the M4 have absolutely no resources at all. And I'm kind of surprised they actually went in for the head armor, because they would have realized that they would... that Brutals would realize that the CTs do have cash to work with and not risk it with the MAC-10s or the UMPs. So I'm kind of surprised that they did not go in for the resources. So it's me trying to explain 2 different situations. But yeah, Foxy is going to get taken down to... Actually, A-Star is going to get taken down to 20 points of health, and Rane Kaka barely just surviving. And the smoke is going to go out, and it looks like it is going to be an A-fake B-take. And it is going to be Rix entry fragging towards the B-bombs and leading the charge, or maybe Venom is going to go up. So they're just taking things really slowly. I'm not quite sure if they're going in for an execute, but the flashbang is going to come in. I'm kind of surprised that Krish did not see that coming. But Spawn is going to get the first one. Can he get the second? Nope, that is not going to happen. Rix getting the double frag, entering into the B-bomb side. So we saw Venom with the scout, Rix entering. A-Star is going to get taken down. Rix just having a lot of fun and being really trigger happy.
Rix is having too much fun, taking out his teammate and enemies alike, not really caring where his bullets land. But Foxy does get Rane Kaka. Free kill is very low. Nope, he's dead. He's 6 feet under. He has ceased to be. And now it's all down to Jimmy. Jimmy spots out Juventa. Juventa returns the favor and shoots him dead. All right, Brutality, match and map point. This is looking really good. I honestly haven't seen Brutality play this well for a very long time. And I am glad that I was around to see the resurgence of Brutality, if indeed it does happen.
Well, that is going to be one of the happiest sights to watch because I was actually really upset, even though I'm supposed to be unbiased. But having seen these guys, having played with these guys personally, and having known them for such a long time, and all of these guys are really sweet people, right? And just seeing them play, not being able to play the best game, it was a little upsetting. And seeing the resurgence again with Asa and Fox coming back to the line and going to a full circle, it's really happy to see. And when I'm surviving on 1 point of health, it's just going to be that bullet bag. We'll go and throwing in the nades as well. Ronnie Kaka is not going to get spotted. Has this easy to work with. We'll find the first frag on Rix, or maybe not. Rix is surviving on 2 points of health. And this is really upsetting. One guy on 1 HP, one guy on 2 HP. The CTs really need to close out those frags. And Jimmy also missing a lot of shots, even though when it was absolutely blinded. And Uenta is going to find the frag and the headshot onto Jimmy. It's going to be Creation a 2v1. He has to pull this off to keep the dream alive, and he does not have any resources. He does not have a kit either. He's going to spot Uenta, but well, he's going to rip his head off, and the scoreline is going to be 16-6 in the favor of Team Brutality.
Well, that is GG. Well played, and thank you for joining us for this evening's stream, dear viewers. Back to the studio, Adi and Vagish, guys, have a blast breaking down this masterclass on Inferno from Brutality.
Welcome back, everybody, to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Master League. And what we just witnessed was thrashing.
Yeah, it was what we witnessed was I told you so.
Spanking of sorts. 16-6 the fan score in favor of Brutality. VAC Banned definitely needs to reconsider the kind of tactics they've been using. And it's Adi, I want to put this through to you. I want to have this small chat with you. This is so similar to the VAC Banned from 2017. It
seems worse than what
yeah,
they were
it seems
in 2017.
None of our chiding, none of our explaining, none of our helping them. They don't want to take help. They don't want to embrace change. I don't know what.
I don't think it's that. I'll tell you why they looked worse is because Brutality looks better. It's simple as that. Like VAC Banned did not improve, but Brutality over the course of the summer has improved. I was saying it earlier, right? They spent some time with Skadoosh learning some more things in the game, right? Skadoosh is just a stickler for information. He loves going through YouTube the entire day. By the way, Skadoosh is Brutality's substitute. He was in the starting lineup, but he's focusing on setting up his own business now. So he's a bit busy. And also, I want to say this about Brutality as well. They are sort of like a weekend team now because Uenta has his own business. Same with Rix and Venom. Foxy is an MBA student now, and he's still playing comparatively at this level. And it's the same thing with A-Star. Even A-Star has moved on to, I think his dad's business or something like that, or some business or the other. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, Brutality is what TMG were last year. They are now a weekend team, and they've just put out, it's helped them, to be honest. They've put out such a dominant performance, and the best thing I can say about this, at least for the first 7 rounds, okay, after the first 7 rounds, once they were 6-1 up, 7-1 up, then they just were like, yeah, we got this, and let's just
like Fed said,
then they were just like, yeah, it was just like, let's get this over with. And A-Star was obviously on point. Venom also, Fed pointed out Venom, right? He's become a lot better. His mechanical aim has become better, and I think a lot of that has to do with his keyboard placement. He used to play with a very weird finger. You know how you play WASD? I don't know if you can see, like this, right? Yeah. With these, this is what you play WASD with, right? He used to play like this.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So we forced him to change.
You play with these 3
yeah,
fingers,
exactly.
and then you use a thumb and this.
Yeah, he never knew. When he
what do you mean he never knew? He plays competitively. How do you not know?
No, so he used to play like this from the 1.6 time, from the 1.6 era. So he was set in his ways, and we made him change because the movement suffers, right? Things like that. So I think his mechanical aim has become better. His mechanical movement has become better, and it's very apparent. The same thing with Rix as well. Okay, Rix. I mean, to be honest, he's as good as he was last year. There's nothing to say. Juventa has definitely stepped up his game. Crucial kills. Foxy looked a little bit off point, but again, you know, making the contributions that he has to make. That was the best part. Everyone did their jobs, right? And it obviously was made easier by VB and about how off point VB was with their aim, especially because they are an aim star team, right? And if they were off point with their aim. Also, I'm not going to discount the fact that VB was playing about 6 rounds with a substitute. Round 2 to 7, they had a substitute in called 1-2-3 ASD or something like that. And then Jimmy came back. Jimmy played the first round. VAC Banned won that round. And then he, at the end of the second round, he lagged out. So the round 3 to round 7 approximately was played by a substitute. But then he did come back, and then there was a little bit of a delay because he came back with 16,000 start money, which is not acceptable. So there was a little bit of a waste of time there. But all in all, Brutality just, they look great. They look, honestly, they look, in the first, I'm just talking again about the first 7 or 8 rounds when they were taking a little bit of map control. They weren't being too aggressive. They were making the correct decisions. They had the correct temperament. In a 2-on-1, they didn't just peek one by one. They peeked together. And in one of the rounds, they didn't even peek because the guy didn't have the time to plant the bomb. Small little things, right, which come from experience is still there in them. And the discipline is there. That's the best part about Brutality right now, because a lot of the times you see indiscipline, and I used to see that when I was in Brutality as well, indiscipline. So at this point, that's all I can say about it. I mean, there were of course a few rounds like let me just say, like round number 12, right? Brutal's overly aggressive, and VB, they showed VB no respect. But then round number 14, finally VB win a gun round, is because, you know, again, it's because of that, again, that over-aggression, that disrespect, right? VB finally win that round. But again, on round 15, Brutality reined that in and won that round to take the half 13-2. And eventually, once it was the gun rounds, yeah, they tried a couple of force buys in the T side, Brutality, but as soon as it was the gun rounds, they closed it out. They with simple strats.
So who's going to be MVP for the day?
I'm not, it has to be A-star, to be honest. I'm not sure the graphics are ready. Oh, they are. Oh, it's Juventa according to this? Hold on a second. I would say it's A-star. I'm going to look at the stats. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, it does say Juventa. Yes, sure. My MVP though is it can be Juventa. Yes.
Yeah, okay. 1 second.
So, okay,
I'll make you hold that train of thought. I can like ask production through my telekinetic abilities to put in picture of A-star. Can we do that, production? Production, can we do that?
So, all right, wait.
Do you see
I'll tell you why.
Charles Xavier.
So I'll tell you why Juventa is up there. I think the stats are incomplete, by the way, and that's what the production has gone off of. And my fault, I did not tell them. But yeah, I mean, Juventa had a great game, 22 frags, 91 ADR. But my MVP for the game actually has to be A-star because it was 22 frags, 109 ADR. He had 4 2Ks, 3 2Ks as well. So both Juventa and A-star actually had a great game. And actually, yeah, like I was saying this, right? Juventa actually was playing really, really well. He had only 9 deaths throughout the game, just 9 deaths. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. In fact, this brings us to the end of the CSGO game. Here on the other side, we have the final game of the day 4 of the ESL India Premiership 2018, which has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, and Intel, and presented to you by Noggin Gaming and ESL. We'll be taking a short break here. On the other side, we have an entire game of Dota 2 lined up. So don't go anywhere. Angela will be joining us soon. But for now, we'll bid goodbye to Adi and come back to you guys soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, everybody joining us on the various social media. You are seeing this amazing day 4 of the ESL India Premiership 2018 summer season. Masters League going on in full power, 24-hour situation right now.
24-hour situation. Yeah, you could put it like that. We're
So
live
actually, okay, so I'll tell you. So, Angie, so it's a song. It's a very shady song. I don't know why I stumbled upon it in the first place. But there's this song called Full Power, 24-hour, no toilet, no shower.
Well, whose song is this?
So it goes like full power, 24-hour, no toilet, no shower, no toilet, no shower. It's a crazy song.
Okay.
But moving on, I think DOTA people have a pretty similar lifestyle. Full power, 24-hour, only DOTA and no toilet and no shower. Trust me, if you have a look at Bacha, aka Ronak Crowley Sane, you will believe me.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But before daggers get thrown at me from the virtual medium, let me bring to light the game today we have at hand is between Buriza Youth and ROG Titans, Republic of Gamers Titans. Now, last we got the news was ROG Titans had Swifty with them in the roster, but now no more.
Yes.
There is a player called ZXC kind of situation, yeah. So he's now joined in place of Swifty. In fact, last Buriza Youth was there. They used to play out of Hyderabad, but apparently now Delhi is one DOTA team rich because Buriza Youth now plays out of Delhi. Wow.
And also, other than the captain, everybody else in Buriza Youth have been changed. So it's only going to be Helm who's going to be playing main from the previous Buriza Youth. Every other player is new to the roster. So I'm very excited to see who these players are and how.
So let's put that excitement on the shelf because now we're going to put the faces to these names. Let's start off with Buriza Youth. Okay, I need to point it out. Angie, do you know this guy from Buriza Youth called Nick?
I have seen him play before, but why are you laughing?
Because this guy reminds me of, who's this actor who was in The Bung also. Can production help me with the name? Sonu Sood. This guy Nick looks like Sonu Sood in his younger days. I swear this was so hilarious. I was like, wow, why is Sonu Sood playing DOTA 2?
I don't watch a lot of Hindi
It was very
movies.
weird.
I'm going to go check out Dabang Benches for
I can probably ask production to put a photo of Sonu Sood and along with Nick. Okay. But, well, that's Team Buriza Youth for you guys in Avanara, Delhi. Earlier they were based out of Hyderabad. Interesting team of youngsters there. In fact, let's quickly take a look at the competition now and see who they're going to be facing against ROG Titans. Alright, ZXC Akshay Dodi is the replacement for Swifty, Jeet Swifty Kundra there. And see there, Nick. Do you see the small miniature Sonu Sood there with the headphones on? I swear I can't get my eyes off that.
I guess he could go into modeling or something if the esports career for him does.
Oh well, that's only Venom. Well, that's only Venom. That's only limited to Venom. That guy's guns are like literally Green Day songs happening. But moving on, talking about ROG Titans. Zedisberg, one of the players, I met him when I first forayed into esports, and sadly that was the last time he was foraying into he was in esports at that time because he retired, if I remember correctly. It was 2016 Masters, and he retired at that time. He went on a hiatus for a year until ROG decided to get him on board, and whoops, there they are. In fact, it's the first time I'm seeing Darshan A35 Bata in the forefront. Usually,
he's the captain of the team.
Usually you see Darshan is like this shy guy in the corner slouching like this, doing like gangster stuff. Now look at the demeanor this guy has, dude. Like he's sorted.
I'm always really excited to see ROG Titans play because so many of those players are veterans. I've seen them play in a variety of teams, and now to see them together in one team. Other than Swifty, I mean, ZXC being the only new player who I'm very keen to see how he goes with this. But apart from them, all the 4 players, very excited to see how they're going to perform in today's game. Talking about today's game, the draft has already begun, and ROG Titans deciding to battle the Viper, the Pit Lord, and the Underlord. And
Underlord and the Pit Lord. Oh, Pit Lord! Somebody's been playing the whole DOTA.
And Buriza Youth battle the Bat Rider, the Night Stalker, and the Tiny. They opt to pick up the Sand King and Witch Doctor. Best 4th and 5th role supports coming in there from Buriza Youth. They're going to play their cards very safe. Sand King, of course, did get a little
Pangolia.
bit of and ROG Titans reply with the Shadow Shaman, one of their favorite pickups over there, and Pang coming in there. I think it's going to be mostly an offlane Pang, played by A35. I'm guessing he's going to show us his.
Is this the first time we are seeing a Pangolia in the summer season?
Yes, this is the first time.
Otherwise, usually you see Pangolia either getting banned along with Dark Widow. But do tell me, Angie, do tell me, why do people end up calling Balanar just Night Stalker? I mean, he has a name, right?
Balanar was the name given to him in Dota 1. Night Stalker is the name.
He's still Balanar, is he not?
He is no. He's not. He's no longer called Balanar. He's called Night Stalker.
Oh
because,
no! I always thought. Oh.
The thing was that when Valve took Dota 2, they had to change the name because Blizzard owned those names. So
Balanar is not owned by Blizzard. I think he's still.
The character
I think I'll have to check.
I'll
have to check and ask production. So if I can ask production, this is Balanar the name of Dota 2, but while they get back to me...
Balanar was the name in Dota 1. In Dota 2, he's called the Night Stalker.
Balanar was still the Night Stalker in Dota 1. He had a subtitle in Dota 1 called Night Stalker, and then apparently I think Night Stalker became the primary name. Can production confirm that to me?
The Void is
copyright issues. All right, so the draft has moved ahead. We see 2 more bans coming in. Void coming in as a ban from ROG Titans, and Tusk coming in as a ban from Buriza Youth. Now it's all a game of 2 more bans and 2 more picks, after which they'll do 1-1 ban each and then 1-1 pick.
ROG Titans waiting to pick up their secondary support. They got to still pick their mid and their carry. They're going to take a little time with their carry, but for now I'm hoping to see them pick their secondary support. Since the Witch Doctor and Sand King are already out, I could see them go maybe for a Naga Siren. They would love to go with that pickup as a 4th role. They could also go for an Earth Spirit. We saw a beautiful Earth Spirit play coming in there yesterday.
But I doubt Buriza Youth is going to go for an Earth Spirit. I think
ROG Titans would mostly go for
Earth Spirit.
Yes, I mean, it's a possibility. I've seen them play the Earth Spirit pretty well. And yeah, Evil Ash plays a beautiful Earth Spirit.
I suspect Buriza Youth to pick Storm Spirit. Or they've banned Terrorblade.
They could also go for the OD. I mean, the OD seems to be one of those favorite pickups coming into the 2018 summer season.
Indeed, and they've banned Lifestealer, ROG Titans. They know this game cannot proceed late game. A Sand King, Witch Doctor, Lifestealer in one team is going to be very deadly combination indeed.
The reply to that from Buriza Youth, they're going to ban out the Terrorblades. So 2 hard carries getting banned out very fast over there by both the teams. Leaving the Spectre still in the pool. We have the Anti-Mage. We still have Gyrocopter who gets
now
a pick
getting picked up by Buriza Youth.
Gyro
I see a lot of Gyro getting picked up nowadays. In fact, a Sand King Gyro combo.
Pretty deadly. I mean, yesterday's game that went up to 73 minutes. The only reason they really won, I mean, they took the game so long was because the Gyro was just... He's just a menace. Once he picks up the Divine Rapier, he's just going to flake cannon your whole team. So you can't really reach that side of the arena to even do anything.
Yeah, the flak cannon is too deadly for either opponents or their opposition towers. So definitely. And plus the entire AoE effect, because it's not like a point and click for one enemy. It's just one enemy and every enemy around you for that point of matter. So yeah, predominantly that's a pretty set ability on Gyro with the Divine Rapier there. You're pretty right about that.
Hoping to see a Tinker. I was just going to say mostly a mid Tinker and a Chaos Knight coming in there from ROG Titans. They do like playing the Chaos Knight as a carry. But they could even opt to go for a Razor because Razor hasn't really gone for a ban. So I'm hoping the Buriza Youth may picks up the Razor as a mid lane hero. But,
maybe. But the Tinker's good. But the Tinker's good. Man's not hot.
So that's going to be a mid-Tinker. So I think that's going to be played by ZXC, the new player. I'm very excited to see how he's going to fare on that Tinker. And for now, they're going to take some more time. They got to still pick up their secondary support. But Buriza Youth still looking to pick up their offlane. Timbersaw, Centaur still in the pool. Tidehunter in the pool. Elder Titan, we saw that pick yesterday. Beautifully played by them.
I think it's going to be a Templar. I think Buriza is going to pick up a Templar. I highly suspect a Templar is going to be in this game somehow, somewhere.
It could be.
This is going to be like a floppy disk at the last moment getting inserted.
They could even go for a Queen of Pain. I mean, at this given point of time,
QP would be a nice.
Would work very well. I was also hoping they could go for a Zeus pickup. He's got a buff in the 7.11 patch. His range and his damage has increased. So he's kind of started. Oh, but
we have an MK.
Monkey King.
Monkey King.
I love that pick coming in from Buriza. Lovely AoE combination coming in there for them.
I am the Monkey King. Obey me.
I
Isn't
love
that
that
how he
pick.
says?
I mean, does he say that like that?
No, I mean, if...
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if he could say, oh, I love this hero.
I love this hero.
I love this hero.
Bounty Hunter.
This slimy git called Bounty Hunter is the reason why, if this game is going to get elongated into like late game, this hero is the reason for it.
I'm looking at this draft from ROG and it looks like they want to take this game in an early push. They could manage to do that. Once the Tinker does get that BOT up and running, they could just keep scouting on the map. But they need to pick up a very strong carry.
Indeed, I see a Bounty coming in as a good counter for Monkey King because...
he could just keep scouting him around the map.
Yeah, so the Monkey King always gets tagged, and plus the track is always a good way to find out the Sand King because of the Sandstorm, and the Monkey King when he's atop a tree. So that's a good way to counter a Monkey King.
And also if the Witch Doctor decides to ulti, the Shuriken can just...
Or the Shimmer Cape, the Shimmer Cape also, If that also happens, then definitely, and we see a Morphling getting banned as the final ban coming in from Buriza Youth and an Enchantress coming in from ROG Titans. Now one pick each for ROG Titan and Buriza Youth. Who is it going to be?
I still feel ROG Titans could go for a Razor. I mean...
I think ROG could go for a Storm.
I mean, they already have a Tinker mid, so they wouldn't really consider a Storm. But if you look at their carry lineup, Razor could fit really well with the Shadow Shaman. They could easily take down towers. They don't really look like they want to really go and take down heroes. They want to just take down towers. Their lineup looks of that sort. But this is going to take some time for them because the Terror Blade is being banned. The push could be from the Spectre, but the Spectre will need a lot of farm. So they got to be a little careful on who they pick up as their carry. They still have the anti-wave.
How about a Vengeful Spirit? A good Vengeful and a Pangolia combo could work very well because the Vengeful's Vengeance aura has added bonus damage, point A. Secondarily, each time... So I like the fact that with the recent patches, Vengeful Spirit does not really leave the battle, if you realize, because the Wraith Vengeance follows you around like a git every single time. So that's there. And secondarily, apart from that, the swap is going to help Pangolia a lot because of his vector move.
Yes.
The swashbuckling move, I forgot the name for that. So that vector move in tandem with Venji's ultimate, which is the swap, could work very well.
I'm hoping that they... But I still feel they should go for the Razor. I mean, the Razor or the DK also could fit well. Anti-Mage also could fit in ROG Titans draft if they want to split push this game. But I mean, I'm actually very interested to see their last pick.
Yeah, let's see what transpires because this is going to be pretty exciting. They are in the reserve time. 35 seconds remaining for the reserve time.
Their lockdown is not really very strong, so they got to make sure that whoever they pick now is also the tank of the team. They could also opt to go for a Viper at this given point of time, and Tinker could just help out with that. Their push capability very strong. Razor, I would opt for that, but it's going to be Luna coming in there. Beautiful pickup. I was just thinking about building damage, and Luna is the queen of building damage. I mean, she could just cleave through all the towers and finish it off. Works very well with the Shadow Shaman.
And we have a Visage coming in as a counter to that Luna there.
Alright, so it's going to be a Visage getting picked up by Buriza Youth. I think that's why, yesterday it was that they banned out that hero. Buriza banned out the Visage, and today Buriza Youth, their secondary team, have picked it up. Works very well for them. I'm very interested to see how Buriza Youth play out that draft of theirs.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see this lineup functioning in this battle of strategy here.
Yeah.
So let's see what transpires. In fact, I really love this Tinker.
I am surprised.
Do you see this Tinker's like Amazing.
Amazing set. So it's going to be Archmage who's going to go mid on the Tinker, and ZXC is going to play the carry role. Before in the matchup, it's going to be Archmage who used to play carry for ROG Titans, but now they've switched their lanes and it's going to be ZXC who will be playing the carry for them. So this is going to be a very interesting game. I took my bets on
All right.
ROG
All the best to
Titans.
both the teams. In fact, now we'll be heading off into the game and seeing what's in store for us. Is it an ROG victory or a Buriza? We'll get to know soon, but right now let's head over into the game where our casters and the teams are waiting. VAC, Venkatraman and Floki. Take it on, bro.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is the summer season. You're watching phase 1 itself and you got Buriza Youth and the ROG Titans facing off today. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. And despite the IPL going on, despite Salman Khan going inside of prison and coming out as well, we've still got a good 100 viewers tuning in, so thank you so much. And I don't know, it's an oddly greedy draft coming out of the ROG Titans.
Yeah,
I mean everybody wants farm.
I mean, you look at the Luna, she wants to be farming. You look at the Tinker, she wants to be farming. You look at Bangalore,
wants to be farming.
Everybody just wants to be farming. And Bounty Hunter is not one of the best supports early on. Sure, he can go around the map, he can roam to set up kills, but these are not the best heroes that they can set up kills with. I mean, you look at Luna. Oh, look at casually strolling into them. He's just broken the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, ZXC does have the Lucent team, but is it enough? Quick swashbuckle coming out from A35. He's going to try his best to body block the Monkey King. And we're going to have a quick pause. But yeah, definitely a lot of greed coming out from the ROG Titans. They've got some things working for them. They probably go high ground rather efficiently. They probably defend high ground rather well with the Tinker, with the Pangolier as well. They've got some things working in their
They
favor.
also probably got first blood over here. I mean, Nick is dropping pretty low. I don't think he survives this one.
A35 wants that body block. He hasn't got the boots, but another Lucent Beam. And Zedis Bug with that Orb of Venom gets first blood.
Yeah, and that's the mid. I think is that the mid. That probably seems like they're. Wait, what position is this Monkey King? Is this a carry Monkey King? Is this a? Okay, no, never mind. Is this an offlane Monkey King?
No, I mean,
okay.
It is. I don't think it's a co-Monkey King.
Okay, I'm a little confused by this draft. Yeah, I mean, you have Witch Doctor. I mean, that guy's definitely supporting. But what the hell is the Sand King doing? Sand King is bought boots. Monkey King is bought Stout Shield and Orb of Venom, Tangos and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a support Monkey King.
Oh, look at A25.
Yeah, trying to dish out the damage as much as possible here. Support Monkey King did have small but significant buffs. The Primal Spring damage was buffed up a couple of patches ago. The Boundless Strike stun duration got buffed by 0.1 second. You got the Primal Spring talent as well. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so it's now plus 400 Primal Spring damage.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. The problem with a support Monkey King is, I mean, when Monkey King was being run a lot as a support, he usually used to just chill near the mid lane by the trees, and he's doing just that. He's marched down to the mid lane. He's trying to bring down Archmage. Archmage still fairly healthy with the Salve and the Fairy Fire.
Yeah, Nick, he's gonna have to be careful around here. If he gets caught out by the Bounty Hunter, he can just end up falling because he does not have the level 1 Shingo Mastery, so he will lose that man fight.
There is one issue though with the support Monkey King, and I think it's the change to.
Oh, Zedus Bug, he might find the courier.
Snipes the Salve and the Mango. Visage will have to do work without any regen for a while. But yeah, the change is the positioning of the mid tier ones. So it's and the Primal Spring AoE, it's a lot harder to gank the mid laner or apply pressure at mid. It isn't as easy as it used to be. It used to be a lot easier when you were playing the 4-position Monkey King on the Radiant. But yeah, Nick is going to try and do his best across the map. Even just that early point in Jingu will ensure that A35 won't be able to trade hits with him. So he's got that going.
835, he now has the wave under his tower, so he's going to be getting some levels off the back of this. This is very important for the Bangle here. He can't have a bad start.
So it's an offlane Sand King.
Yeah, I mean, this lane is... Offlane is half of both of these players on the side of Team Buriza as well as Team ROG Titan. Sand King, he doesn't do too well against the Shadow Shaman Luna dual lane. Shadow Shaman has a lot of base damage, so he can trade hits with the Sand King all day long, even though Sand King may get caustic.
Yeah.
But just as I say that, Nick, he's made his way towards the top lane.
I mean, the Sand King isn't doing that bad. I don't know how he's going to itemize to keep staying in this lane. Right now, Nick with all that vision, ensuring that the Sand King stays alive, but Banshee at the mid lane is going to end up falling on that Visage. Zetisbug putting in the work with that Courier Snipe, with that kill as well. Setting up a good mid lane for Archmage. So I'm going to give you guys a quick history lesson. ROG Titans, they played last year, they played with Swifty in their team. It had Archmage going to the 1 position, and it's not where he was at his most comfortable. He did have his rough days, but they kind of remedied that. They put Archmage back in his natural habitat, which is the mid lane, where he's a rather solid player. And you got ZXC stepping into the 1 position. For those of you that don't know of him, I'm going to cut that history lesson midway because up top, they're trying to bring down Evil Ash on the Shadow Shaman. They're going to give chase, they're going to mess with the creep equilibrium, but Zetisbug is here with the Janata. Adrenaline Rush has the Shackle, Sand King. Just walking forward, doesn't have mana for the Burrow Strike, but does have it now. Zetisbug held in place, but here comes ZXC. He's got the Lucent Beam, and with the Aether Shock, they'll bring down Nick.
Look at that lovely creep equilibrium, right in the middle of the river. Bang on.
Oh, absolutely. Get creeps, get last hits, get EXP, and even control runes.
Yep.
This is what the safe lane should be like.
Yeah. This is tier 9 strats right here.
Absolutely. This is what happens when Ice heads to the safe pin.
Indeed. I think that's a very accurate analogy for the situation here. Archmage on the mid lane is doing a lot better than the Visage, partly because he put more points in March, and more specifically the laser is just going to make sure that he gets a lot more last hits than Banshee does. What is important though is that Banshee is always going to have the kill potential onto Archmage because of his familiars as soon as he hits level 6.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if the Visage is in the lane or not, if he scouts him out with the
They're trying to bring down Visage once more. The Primal Spring is there from Nick. He does have the Boundless Strike, and he's going to turn it around. He brings down Archmage on the Tinker. The thing is, the Visage will struggle to last hit because of the attack animation and just general sucky base damage early on. Not so sucky, but more the attack animation. But once Banshee gets his level 6, once he gets the familiars, he's going to be okay. And I actually see him bullying Archmage out of the lane at that point. That's when Visage starts winning the lane.
Yeah, and that's when you have to start thinking about how you're going to be laning in this mid lane. Because you probably need to have Soul Ring, and then you need to transfer over to the jungle. You can't continue farming against familiar damage as well as Buriza's draft is that the supports aren't that great early on as compared to ROG Titans. So even though they have the greedier draft, Rock can get away with it, and this might really come later to bite them in the butt. Because you have a Gyrocopter, but that Gyrocopter is not going to do much if he doesn't have the right amount of setup. Yeah. Bottom lane.
I'm looking at top where they've got the Sand King held in place. The Eclipse is there, they'll bring him down. Well, down bottom. 835 scores a kill all by himself. He's got the Maledict upon him, but he's got 14 1 charges. Isn't going to pursue. Could pop the 1 charges.
He might
need to. Yeah, he popped it.
Okay. Keeping us on the edge of the seat there. Holding those 1 charges pretty long. Banshee in the middle lane is gonna start to recover now, and as soon as he has the HOTD, at the 10-minute mark he can try to dominate the enemy siege creep wave and take the Starver. That's gonna limit the Tinker's farming potential. And I think that's very important in this game if you want to punish the greedy draft of ROG Titans. Just get all these tier 1 towers as quickly as you can, and make sure they don't have the space to really farm up on the Luna. Just constantly fight with your Gyrocopter every single time cooldown is up.
I'm also a bit displeased with the Sand King's itemization. Picking up the Scout Shield after the boots isn't doing him any wonders, but they are going to try and bring down ZXC. Doesn't have the Eclipse. They've got the control. This is certainly a dead on to Ramses here. The Ether Shock comes through. Evil Ash trying to throw his body at them. Won't get too much on. Luna even looking for that last Lucent Beam onto the Witch Doctor. Doesn't end up finding it.
Yeah, Luna tried to survive, but I think she was better off saving her wand charges. Hell, she even buys another set of dangles. Looks like she expects more harass coming her way from this level for Sand King. Shadow Shaman, he has to be careful, but he has to cover off the creeps, so Sand King can't really pursue that kill.
Yeah.
Bottom lane once again.
I mean, Awakening has the salve, drops the call down, but he got the rolling boulder. He is spell immune. He's going to try and bring down the Gyrocopter. And with that swashbuckle, A35.
Oh boy.
Solo killing the Gyrocopter all by himself.
I mean,
ZXC, he's pushing a rather huge wave into the top tier 1, but just free farm, and Shaman does have detection. They're trying to bring down the Sand King, and that dust of appearance will pay off.
Nick? What the hell is he doing? He might just end up falling himself.
He could. I mean, ZXC could look to chase. He's got the Lucent Beam. He's going to find the kill. He'll try to cosplay as a tree, but he won't be too successful. Awakening even deeping to the top lane. Not really sure for what.
Yeah, he tried to do some ninjutsu there, and it didn't really work out too well for him. ZXC. That's Ramses, right?
Yeah.
ZXC. Yeah. Ramses,
So,
he's there.
I'll go back to the history lesson since there seems to be a lull in the game. So ZXC, yeah, so ZXC or Ramses, oh look at this. He's at it, he's trying to bring down the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, ZXC, he might just end up paying for this with his
He
life.
might. Awakening does have the call down. Evil Ash has got to be careful, he's got to step outside that call down AoE. And with the Rocket Barrage, they'll find one kill. They might find two. Are they leaving it to the Gyro? Nope, Witch Doctor takes away the killing spree.
I mean, Evil Ash, that's true commitment to his support role right there. If his carry dies, he dies with him. Brothers in arms.
They
Mid
are
lane,
finding...
Archmage.
Yeah, they're trying to bring down Archmage. The familiars are pounding away. It is only a level 1 soul assumption, but the damage is there. Archmage just run at there.
Yeah, I mean, that Grave should last for pretty damn long. It's 7-second duration when maxed out. And like we talked about, Tinker no longer has his tier 1 tower and is trying to lane against this Visage, but I think he should just shift over to the jungle.
He's also struggling for his BODs. I mean, let's hope he gets it by, say, the 13-minute mark.
Archmage, I mean, A35, he's in the mid lane. He's trying to do something to Banshee, but Banshee should be fine. Now that I think of it, I think Pangolier Swashbuckle is really good against Visage because you can remove the Gravekeeper's Cloak pretty damn fast with that, with those Swashbuckle instances. It deals damage in 4 instances, and that's like 78 damage a pop. Grave Chill, it lowers physical damage by around, let's see, how much is that? So it's 16% per layer. So it lowers, I just heard a shield crash somewhere.
Yeah, A35. They'd spotted the message, but or the Gyrocopter actually, and Buriza, you not taking unnecessary fights. They have lost that tier 1 tower up top. The Mass Serpent wards were committed. I do hear a Grave Chill coming out. Golden Thunder from A35 will look to bounce around. We'll get the hell out of there.
Get out of here.
Seems as Buriza youth want to fight, but they're struggling to catch any of the heroes on the side of the ROG Titans.
Yeah, ZXC almost got caught there by Nick, who was who rotated timely, but didn't have Primal Spring ready, I think, to find the stun on the Luna. Now, Archmage has found his BOTs. This is really crucial for him, as this can make sure he farms safely around the map, not really having to go to the lane where Visages and just sort of AFK farming the jungle like he is now.
Yep.
Also,
So,
one of the big advantages to playing the Tinker on the Dire side is that you get to farm this Triad, and you can farm all 3 camps at once if you position the March right.
Archmage being absolutely efficient there, making good progress towards that Blink Dagger as well. I mean, we spoke of this. We spoke of how the ROG Titans have a greedy lineup, but the greed hasn't been punished. You want to punish greed in the lanes early on. We've still got the ROG Titans and their cores leading the network charts, the Luna, the Pangolier, Tinker right at the top. And then there's only track money which is yet to come online. I mean, Zenisbug has the track, but they haven't found too much with it.
I'm having flashbacks to the... Oh no, Zetus bug. He found the courier. Or Zetus bug.
Yeah.
Whatever you like to call him. But yeah, I'm having flashback to those times when all these EU teams during the TI2, TI3 era tried to beat the China teams by being greedier than them. I think that was Puppy's philosophy on how to beat Chinese teams. I mean, they used to pick pretty greedy lineups and try to turtle around and make sure the carry gets far. And the way they used to respond... Oh, what?
I think he had vision of Archmage, deeping right in front of him. But he didn't bother with the boundless strike. I'm not sure, it could be wrong. But look at this. Evil Ash on the Shaman. Just chills in the bottom lane, drops the Master Open Wards, gets himself a tier 1 tower. I think if you're Buriza, if you're the team with the Whistle and a Gyrocopter, you want to be forcing fights, you want to be forcing objectives. They're gonna get this tier 1 tower, I presume, with the Helm.
I mean, Gyro still doesn't feel ready to fight just yet for some reason. He has the drums, has the Aquila, but does not have the wand, and he's trying to find a Sanj and Yasha. He might be in some trouble though.
He'd like a one Zetus bug as well as A35. They're gonna track him up, so they got the vision going. The shield crash is there, and with the swashbuckle and the shuriken, they're gonna find that kill for themselves. The trade is that Buriza Youth will find the tier 1 tower. The question is, will they defend the tier 1 mid? But Evil Ash, he's been chilling. They've got the Eclipse, they've got the Shackles. They'll get the tier 1 tower as well.
Nick just getting baited in by the Luna over there.
Yeah.
Clever play by ROG.
Yeah, he's been very proactive with his Eclipse usage. And look at this, ROG, they're completely dominating the map. They bump into the Witch Doctor, and they're going to bring him down. This aggressive Observer Ward paying dividends here for ROG Titans.
Yeah, I think it does get pinged out by the Witch Doctor. They did see the missile going uphill, so... should give them some sort of an idea about...
Sand King got his blink, okay.
Yeah, Sand King has not found his blink. He's had a really bad time in the offlane.
I'm getting this feeling that the ROG Titans are going to close this game.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Very soon.
Gyrocopter is somehow still not in fighting shape. I mean, he just got left alone by his supports. Nick was roaming around the map. Witch Doctor alone was not enough to zone out the Pangolier, and the Pangolier finding solo kills twice on the Gyrocopter in the bottom lane, while his supports are top trying to kill the Luna and not being really successful with it time to time.
I mean,
set him back.
If you played Pangolier or you played versus Pangolier, he's actually surprisingly easy to kill. As long as Swashbuckle is on cooldown in the laning phase, you can bring him down. They had the heroes to do it, but they didn't quite punish him enough. And
thing about Pangolier is that he doesn't have the best base damage, and also he doesn't have the most HP either. If you look at his stats, I think he has somewhere close to 500 HP at level 1, unless you buy some stat increasing items. But
Buriza, they pop a smoke, they've got detection. They'll find Zetus bug. 212 gold. Well, I don't know. It's okay, it's something. They would have liked to find more.
So, I mean, they will find Zetus bug, who's still the bounty hunter. So having the bounty hunter off the map for a while gives you some sense of relief that, okay, we can sort of split up and afford to farm for the next few seconds. I mean, Zetus bug, he's already back in 7 seconds, so that's not a lot of space for his ghost to farm, but it's something.
It really isn't.
So we were talking about the...
Go on.
Okay, I'll go on in that case. So we were talking about how Pangolier is very easy to kill in the early game, and if you look at his base HP pool, he has the same amount of HP at level 1 as a Crystal Maiden, which is one of the reasons why he's so easy to kill despite having 4 armor and a stout shield. He needs those branches and circlets in order to be a little tanky in the laning phase.
Yeah, it's the shield crash that really helps him out. He's gonna go in, jumps over the cliff, and gonna bring down the Gyrocopter.
The Gyrocopter is not having a good time this game.
I guess Buriza Youth have got a TP and just punish them, and instead they're the ones being punished. They're purely bringing down Nick, will find the killer mass up and what's and then they've got the Witch Doctor. They're moving on to the Visage Banshee, being chased, does have the Great Shield, won't use it, has a fair amount of soul assumption charges, but it doesn't matter when you control like that.
I mean, you have
Buriza Youth just being outplayed here.
I mean, they're just getting outgunned in numbers because you look at the lineup of ROG Titans, all of the heroes can fight at this point of the game. The Luna can fight, the Shaman can fight, the Pangolier has also had a good start, so he's very easily taking part in these team fights. Whereas on the side of Buriza, Nick on his Monkey King, I mean, he's good with levels, but he doesn't really have a lot of farm to boot, so he's not really doing that much damage in these team fights. And he can't really stand and right-click the enemies either, because he's not ahead in terms of levels. That's
Oh my god.
Monkey King.
Mid lane, Spirit Vessel, and
Oh
the
my
track
god.
providing
That's
vision
dirty.
for the heat-seeking missiles to come through.
That is so dirty.
So
I
I think what Buriza you could have possibly done is after the smoke they popped where they got the bounty hunter, they should have probably popped another smoke and gone on the hunt once more. They needed to take more fights. I mean, you can probably take a fight with a 10,000 net worth deficit and win it, but when something like 20,000 and when ROG have so much map control that they can just walk into Roshan and claim ages, the longer this game goes, the harder it becomes for you to win fights. And I said this, the draft is greedy, you have to punish that early. It's too late to punish the greed anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when you pick supports like Monkey King, they rely very heavily on their early game to be able to have any sort of effect in the game, but Nick, on his Monkey King, he's died 5 times so far in this game. That's not a good start for the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Typically, you want to be ahead, have more levels than the enemy supports.
Pop the smoke again, there's smoke dispels, there is Bug on the low ground, just tossing out those tracks in. Here comes Archmage with the heat-seeking missiles. The Witch Doctor, he's dead without even casting a single spell. The Rolling Thunder coming through, 835 has that Blink Dagger, he's going to try and control Banshee on this Visage, bounces left and right, has the Swashbuckle, the Heart Piercer even proccing on the back door. We got the Eclipse shutting down the Monkey King before he even did anything with the Wukong's command. They'll deal with Banshee, they'll move on to the Sand King, and the Gyrocopter can only watch as his allies fall right in front of him.
Yep. I mean, Buriza youth are just getting manhandled by ROG Titans right now. 6 Shuriken tossed to there by Zedisbug. What he managed to do was he tossed the Shuriken onto the Sand King and broke the TP of the Visage who was tracked. So the Shuriken ended up bouncing to him.
Well, they definitely look like a much more cohesive unit than they did last season. And I'm pretty impressed with this ROG lineup. I like how ZXC's been active all across the map. I like how Zedisbug with the track has been setting up for the Tinker. And look at this, Buriza Youth can't even walk into the fight. They've lost their tier 3s without casting a single spell. Except the Sandstorm, which just came in to save the Sand King.
I mean, you have no sort of long-range Wavely on the side of Buriza, so it's really hard to defend your towers from heroes like Tinker and heroes like Luna.
It's call down and flag cannon at best. That's
yeah,
it.
And you don't really want to be using call down or flag cannon to clear creep phase. You want those, save those spells for fights. Even if you use flag cannon, you have to be close to the creeps to even get those flag cannon shots up. But Gyrocopter, he can't afford to walk into the march as he does not have the BKB yet.
Evil Ash has more net worth than the enemy one position.
Yeah, I mean,
the Shaman.
The entire lineup of ROG Titans has more net worth than Buriza. I mean, it's a 25k net worth lead. I don't want to say it's entirely on the Bounty Hunter. It's certainly the way Team Buriza have oriented themselves in this game. They lost so many towers early on.
Up top, 835. I'm gonna find the skill.
Oh boy. Not a track kill though, so that's okay, I guess. Or was it? Don't think it was a track kill. But yeah, with that said, I think what they tried to do is sort of switch positions. Sand King decided to go for the Hood of Defiance and bought all these support items while Nick tried to farm his Diffusal Blade up, but there's just no space on the map. All your lanes are being pushed in by the Stinker, and Luna is just capitalizing on that so well. Look at Ramses, look at this cocky man.
Jesus. Okay, so I mean, last year he made this exact same item on a Bone Clings when they were behind, and that pretty much ensured that they could take a game of, I think it was aggressive 5, I'm not sure, but it was a great series. He played for Buriza back then, and that lineup had a lot of promise. He's playing versus his previous organization, and he's out for vengeance.
Indeed. I mean, look at that rapier. Roshan fought so quickly with it, and now with the Aegis, he doesn't have to fear about losing the rapier.
This is ridiculous. I mean, it's just going to be one push. It's going to end the game. You're gonna have Evil Ash or Adrenaline Rush with the Ag Scepter already complete and the Luna with the Rapier. Okay.
I think another thing.
Okay, let's do the best that we can as casters and come up with a scenario where Buriza Youth could win this fight. I'm going to place my bets on Indian internet.
Here's what I'm going to place my bets on. Lobby host activates cheats, and Buriza types in what the fuck and just starts using their stuns to like perma-stun Ramses to death and pick up the rapier, I guess.
Well, there's Ramses, half HP, has the Aegis. And with all that cover fire from the March, the heat-seeking missiles, they can't even walk in.
I mean, it's a slaughter fest here. There's nothing that they can do.
Still rolling around, trying to deal with this Visage, does a fair amount of damage. The Lucent Beam, that's going to bring the Sand. Nick drops the call down, does a fair amount of work with the Flak Cannon and the Rocket Barrage. They might bring down Sidus Park. They brought down the Bounty Hunter. That's the only hero they've been able to kill. Evil Ash stands his ground with the Shackles, but it's cold.
I mean, so many buybacks and they finally managed to kill the 2 supports on the side of ROG Titans. I'm sure they're feeling very happy about that. And for those who didn't understand what I was trying to say, it was sarcastic.
Well, 835. He's found Nick in the trees. Wait, what? Was that an observer ward that spotted him jumping up to the tree? I'm not sure.
Yeah, 2 observer wards placed by ROG Titans in the same place. They managed to catch one, but the other one is still up. Okay, Sun King's gonna find it.
36,000 gold separating these teams.
Ah, boy.
Jesus.
Well, let's see what is it that you can do to bring down the Luna at this point. How do you possibly initiate on the Luna when you don't have a blink on Sand King?
She doesn't have a BKB. At least not for a couple of minutes. I mean, you can still burst her down. The control is there, but can you bring her down twice? I don't know.
I mean, even if you do kill her twice, you have all these other heroes on the side of ROG Titans. Archmage is gonna be spamming out those missiles and lasers. Pangolier, he's just gonna be doing Pangolier things. I mean, he has the Pasha and the MKB finished up, so this Pangolier, he is gonna be messing with the line of a Buriza a lot.
Yeah, the problem is the Tinker, really. I mean, their big insurance in these team fights is the Tinker. They need to hopefully find the Tinker and bring him down.
Yeah, but like every insurance policy, it can often go fraudulent, and if they manage to find the Tinker just once, he does not have buyback, so that will mean that they can actually push out and possibly take some towers.
Nick chilling on the trees, Mart spam coming through, and Nick will just go back.
But now they know he's there.
They do. I don't think they're too concerned. Ramses is it. He's just gonna march up the high ground, pop his Mask of Madness. Banshee tries to get the fight going, but the Rolling Boulder is there. The shield crash as well. Wukong's command as well as the Boundless Strike. But Nick taking more damage than he's dishing out. He's gonna end up falling. The Boundless Strike is there along with the call down. They'll take down the Ace. Just a dead bot doing a fair amount of work. Evil Ash will fall, but he does drop the Mass Serpent once. Unfortunately, though, the laser, the Eclipse, it bounces around. It's just too much. And Buriza Youth, they'll tap out. I saw it at the GG. It was a GG deal.
26-minute victory for ROG Titans and Buriza Youth. They did put up a fight early game, but the Monkey King support and the Sand King not finding the farm. That's really what they should take away from this game.
ROG Titans opening their run in the ESL India Premiership on a strong note, sending a strong message over to Signify, who I'm sure will be watching this game. I think that's about it as far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned for the day. We are wrapping things up early. If you have any feedback on our casting, any love, any hate, you can find me at facebook.com/VEEWAK. Casting Floki, where you at?
I'm at Floki Dota on Facebook. You can find me there, and that's my only social media.
Absolutely. We've been a bunch of casters from AFK Gaming and the ESL India Premiership. You know what it is. Hit the sub button so you get a notification every time we go live. I'm going to throw it over to the analyst panel to hear their thoughts on the game. Angela and Bhagesh.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. We just finished DOTA 2, and ROG Titans, proving to be as strong as they are, of course, a tier 1 team of our country. They also banned out with the same as Signify. Buriza, you're doing pretty well for themselves. First game for them, and I see they really need to work on a few things. Luna, of course, picking up that Divine Rapier shows so much confidence coming in there from ROG Titans. But with this, we come to an end to the ESL India Premiership for today. But from tomorrow, we're back to you again at 6:30 p.m. IST with all the other games from the ESL. This event is brought to you by HP, Intel, HyperX, and organized by Nodwin Gaming. I'm your host for now, Angela, saying goodbye to you and see you tomorrow.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
That was beast. Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.